stream. Theoretically,
He did.
we should be going live right now. In the gloriousness of 60 FPS, because that's what people are always like. I want to sit that close to you. So people are always like, do 60 FPS.
Okay.
So let me open this up. We got our laptops here.
Yep.
There. Is that good?
That looks good to
Can you
me.
do it? I don't know. I might not even use this laptop. I might just use yours because yours is nice and light, and this one's heavy and hot, and I like the idea of, wow, look how smooth that is.
Right?
It kind of looks a little reddish, but
Mine looks flat. Oh, I have to change my.
like the color profile on the monitor looks good, but the problem is the capture card is not set to.
This just looks flat on mine because I
Doing
have to change
this.
it.
What's up, guys? So we are doing this now because, well, I've got nothing else to really do today. I could have, like I said in Twitter, if you guys have been following on Twitter, I could have made a really half-assed video, like more half-assed than we normally do. But I'm in vacation mode. I don't really feel like
You've already checked out the office.
I'm not even here right now. I don't care.
You rode your bike. Like you texted me like before I even left to work. I'm heading over to the office.
I told you yesterday I was gonna ride my bike today, though.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to leave that
So
early though.
we're going. Well, I needed time to get here and shower and
Yeah.
change and freshen up. I mean, this does not just happen.
I thought it did. My bad.
This actually, there's effort put into this. Oh, I'm kicking my shoes off over here. There. Okay, no shoes. No shoes club.
Is
All
everyone
right.
comfortable? Everyone should just sit down. Let's just sit down together.
If you came into this live stream expecting to see some sort of produced content, then you came to the wrong place. I'm just saying. It's Friday. The Friday before my vacation. Don't expect anything out of me. Seriously. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to hang out for a little bit. We're going to talk. I like to talk to you guys because you guys give us a lot of ideas on how we want to run the channel, what kind of video content we want to put out. Like, for instance, the review for this laptop right here. Of course, going into this, we knew the comments were just going to be like, oh my God, that's an overpriced pile of crap, right?
Yeah.
And the desktop killer tag in the title literally was just to trigger people. And it worked. And people were triggered, and I love it, and it's fine.
Giving away the secret, dude.
So that, and that basically inspired us to come up with a new series that we're starting called Cool Shit You Can't Afford. Or maybe even, somebody even suggested we drop the cool and just put shit you can't afford. But then
Probably.
someone had a very good rebuttal and said, but then you need to counter that with a shit you can't afford. But how can I say someone can afford something? The same way I can say they can't afford it? I can say probably more people can't afford this than can afford it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing right here
It's more
is
subjective.
stupidly expensive. Like I think I kind of want to do a video where it's like, okay, what can you buy desktop-wise with this? Like the price of this, because it ranges from $39.99. $43.99 is this one's configured because it has the 1 terabyte RAID 0 configuration, and then $48.99 for the 2 terabyte configuration. Like it would be cheaper to just buy the $39.99 version and then put in a single NVMe drive. And you would have more, like a single 1 terabyte, and you'd have more space in this. A little slower read write, but you'd have more space in this for less. Like I don't understand. I mean, RAID 0, I get it. It's gonna be, it makes the drives look bigger.
Yeah.
But why not? Why two 256s and why not a single 512? Why two 512s and not a single 1 terabyte?
True.
You know. So there's that. Anyway.
Well, are those proprietary drives too, or they're easy to reach to if you want to change them out?
No, you can easily get to everything on the bottom.
Okay.
People are saying the audio is too low. I don't know. Do you guys think the audio is too low? Should we turn it up? Up the volume. Why is streaming only at 480? Your internet probably sucks because I've got 1080/60 option here.
I also have 1080/60.
Yeah. Okay. You entertain them while I up the volume.
Okay.
We're gonna get turned up.
We're gonna turn up.
We're gonna get turned up.
Buckle your seatbelts. We're going for a ride. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put like normally I put a filter on there to up the gain.
Uh huh.
I forgot to do that.
Oh. Yeah, there's coffee here. Trust us. They're just off. His coffee's there. Mine's right
That
here.
title was just to troll Jerry. That was pretty obvious.
But we have coffee. Coffee confirmed.
Whoa, that probably got really loud right there.
Did it?
Okay, say something.
Checking 1 2. Audio is fine. I'm not stripping for you.
Okay, that should be better. Say something.
Check 1 2.
Okay.
There we go.
I hope it's better.
It better be better.
Don't leave your audio on there.
Oh, feedback. Yeah.
Okay, that should have improved. I mean, obviously, guys, we have the mic just off camera here, which it looks like we could have gone lower with it, but, you know. Oh, well. Nick set up the mic. Blame him. I feel like we can get closer.
Closer?
Yeah.
Like,
hold on. No, not our bodies. Get with me. Hold on. We got this. Oh. Wait.
Wait.
Is this Sony?
Oh. Oh.
You guys are gonna get a nice view of my butt. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Is it 4 o'clock yet or 3 o'clock yet? Whatever it is.
It's 11 here, so it's 3 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. The mic is making noise because I'm moving it. Oh.
That's too low.
Are you sure?
Right there. Should be fine. Too high. Oh, too low. Dude.
This is what happens when you have someone else setting up all your stuff. You forget how to do it. I like to call that the Linus effect. Butt shot coming in. Hold on. There you go.
You gotta warn for the butts.
Okay. Oh, look. This wants to update Windows.
Dude.
Lovely. Not the streaming machine. This one. There.
Snooze. I've been using this for 3
The
days.
problem is I've been telling it, fine, update. But then it goes through the update, and then it comes back later and was like, update failed. And it just keeps failing. So I'm like, whatever. I just say forget it. Okay, as always, guys, donations on the stream are not solicited. But if you so happen to feel inclined, we will read those comments. So Daniel Manzaro says, this may sound like a stupid question, but what if you were to use alcohol instead of water in a cooling loop after replacing all the rubber with silicone? I don't know. I don't know what happens when alcohol comes in contact with nickel and copper and stuff like that.
We should probably try it.
I know alcohol evaporates extremely fast. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I have plenty of hardware shit laying around, like cooling stuff.
I have plenty of alcohol.
Dude, that is probably the most requested topic of water cooling. It's like, Jay, what happens if you just use alcohol? Should we do it?
We should do it.
If you think we should just do a cooling loop with no rubber, we could do it with hardline tubing too, I think. I don't know what the reaction's going to be with. You know what? We should just do it with all the materials. We'll do it with rubber. We'll do it with silicone. We'll do it with vinyl. Do it with PETG and acrylic.
So we'll have like different sections of that whole loop made out of different materials.
Yes. See, efficiency. So instead of having to have all those loops, it's like, okay, this run is acrylic.
Yeah.
This run is vinyl.
Yeah.
This run is rubber. No, I'm not going to do rubber. We know what's going to happen with rubber. The alcohol is going to deteriorate the rubber and it's going to fail. How long it's going to take is a different question. So then we'll do a PETG run.
I'm going to make notes of this.
And a silicone run.
Actually, this is easy to remember because it has to do with alcohol.
not the drinking kind. You know, this might be the most professional looking stream we've done yet.
Yeah, so far.
Nature makes a good backdrop.
It's real.
He has suggested that we do videos sitting against this window, and every time I shoot it down, I'm like, no, I don't want to do the outside. We talk to PC nerds. They're afraid of outside.
There's sunlight. It's real sunlight.
Okay.
We're fine.
S Master says, hey Jay, I'm trying to figure out if I got a good 1700 in the lottery. I can run 3.8 gigahertz stable with Intel burn test at 1.3 volts, H115i at 52 degrees. That sounds pretty run of the mill, actually, to me. Doesn't sound like a lottery winner. Get that sucker to like 4.3, then you have a lottery winner. Heat plus alcohol equals ... Yeah, but if he's talking about like the combustive properties of alcohol, it needs a source of ignition, not just heat. Like a PC loop, it's not gonna get anywhere near hot enough to ignite alcohol and burn it. True. I mean, usually the water temps are like 25, 26 C at the hottest during load. I don't think that's hot enough to make. If we burn the place down, then you'll know it was a bad idea.
You'll have a video to follow up with that.
It's just a sudden clip to the fire department.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on pineapple as a pizza topping? I love it.
It has to be with chicken.
Has to be chicken?
Yeah. See, I love Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly fine with a Hawaiian pizza, barbecue chicken pizza. I wouldn't do barbecue chicken with pineapple, but
I do it.
But it has to be a Hawaiian theme, right? So like Canadian bacon or ham, you know, all the non-kosher stuff. Just pile it up, put some pineapple, done. We did a pizza once with chicken nuggets on it. Remember that?
That was awesome. Cannot complain.
200 something donation. What the heck? That's a 200. Looks like Some sort of Asian currency. Hi, Jay Sir. I just want to say thank you so much for your great content. Hope someday you will come to India. Oh, they're probably rupees.
Probably.
And I shall meet you. Love from 15-year-old fan from India. What's up? This guy has family from India. You do, don't you?
I don't think they're still there.
No, but I mean, you have heritage from India.
Yeah.
Like my heritage is from France and Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, I have or was it DNA that runs back there?
DNA. Was it Jurassic Park? Do you have like a mosquito floating around there that's in some tree sap that has your DNA?
Probably.
They're gonna recreate the coconut monkey in 200 years.
Gosh. We've resurrected a man-child. Now what?
What do we got here? Jared Reed says, "What are your thoughts on?" Oh, we already answered that. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, be my daddy. And there was lots of hype about the Extreme Rampage 9. What happened?
Oh, that water-cooled block motherboard.
No, I don't have the Rampage. I have the Maximus. Rampage has always been like the Extreme. Like that's gonna be an X299 board.
Oh, okay.
I have the Maximus Extreme, and I also have the Maximus Formula.
You should use that in an alcohol loop.
You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. A lot of my builds around here kind of ceased because with everything being so up in the air with hardware, I was just and Nick will tell you, it has been a struggle for me to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it because hardware is just weird right now. Right?
Yeah.
Ryzen 3 is coming out. I'm excited about Ryzen 3. Sorry. I'm excited about Ryzen 3 because that's going to open up the entry point for so many gamers to get into good performance. That's not going to break the bank because what I'm assuming it's going to do. I don't know the pricing yet, guys. And yes, I do have my Ryzen 3 chips. They came like a week and a half ago or a week ago. They are, in my opinion, going to replace the FX series as we know it today. Because the FX right now, the 8320, 8350, whatever, they're kind of your entry point, right? You can spend the same $80 to $130 depending on the ones you get, and get an Intel i3 or a Pentium edition, which is okay. Like IPCs are okay on that, but you're stuck with dual cores at that point. The hyperthreading i3, like we took a look at and put on the shelf once we were done, which was a waste of money, $180 for a hyperthreading i3. That there's no point in that. So I'm really hoping that the 4-core, 4-thread performance on Ryzen 3, possibly being sub $100, I'm more excited about that. I'm more excited about the cheap stuff. You guys might not believe me when I say that because brands are very like, we want to send you our best, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to dominate the charts. They want to look like the best, but they all tend to forget about price to performance. I can't tell you guys how many times I've requested a lower tier product and then been sent the top tier product. This laptop is a perfect example. I requested the blade. I requested the 14-inch blade, and they sent me the Pro. So it is what it is, you know? And so what we've started doing, guys, is we've just started buying the stuff. We just started buying it because the companies don't want to support our push for price to performance. So I've just started spending my own money, corporate money, on the parts that you guys see that are entry level. And if that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do.
I mean, but in the end, if it pays off well, it's great to have around too.
I mean, we always make our money back, right? Because it costs us a few $100s to do those types of videos. They always make more than a few hundred in the end. The thing is, I'm out now, the money now, and then it takes 60-ish days to get that money back.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, I was like, don't you tell me the streaming machine's trying to update. What did it say?
No idea. I can't read it.
Something. Oh, it says restart now. Hold on, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking Windows 10, my God. Restart required. No! Dismiss. Windows 10 on all of our fucking machines are just trying to like ruin our day.
Yeah.
Jeez, I mean, you heard that, right? And then it like the restart now popped up with the little timer.
It's like, no.
Okay.
It's like a bomb.
Let's see. Bobby Mittendorf says, "Hey Jay, all right Jay, I'm building a custom case with water cooling in mind. Could you look at it and let me know if it can be improved?" I'm not gonna click your link, but what I can tell you is, airflow is airflow, regardless if it's air cooled or water cooled. You just keep open airflow in mind. That's why the SMA8 case that I use is just one big open cube, and you can't ask for anything more when it comes to airflow. Also, too, put plenty of intakes on the front of your case. That way you can promote positive pressure if you're using radiators as an exhaust. A lot of companies will put like, you know, 3 exhaust fans on top and an exhaust fan in the rear, but they'll give you 2 intakes. So then you're kind of stuck with possibly a neutral to negative pressure situation. And if you have a smaller form factor case, then you're going to want to put rads maybe in the front and the exhaust. So try and balance it out. That's my biggest. And keep obstructions to a minimum. You don't need to have solid front panels that are blocking airflow. You don't need to have drive cages right behind it. I think a lot of people who do water cooling would happily sacrifice some storage space for airflow. I would.
Yeah, well, even today, like, you could get SSDs a little bit cheaper and just mount them on the back of your case if it allows it.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's also now Intel Optane, which we're doing a review on Intel Optane when I come back from vacation about how to get SSD-like performance. What am I hearing?
Oh, the fan's hitting your hairs. It happens to me.
Yeah, that's weird. No, if I push the bottom of the case, look, you can hear the fan.
Oh. Like, if I bring my fans too close, like, I hear it.
Oh. No, my knee was pushing up on the grill, which was pushing into the fan.
Gotcha.
Because it's thin metal right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the idea of Intel Optane is being able to basically have a cache drive, a 16 gigabyte cache drive for your mechanical drive that will give you SSD, like SATA SSD, not like NVMe M.2 stuff, no, but like SATA SSD performance, with the capacity of a hard drive. So we're going to be doing that as well.
How to deep clean a motherboard. 6 years of being a near smoker, I could see the oil layer building up. What could I do? Is it worth the effort?
Alcohol swabs is about the best you can do. Alcohol is not going to hurt your components. Alcohol will also evaporate very quickly. That's about the best you're going to be able to do.
And just air it out, because my old case I got back had vape juice. Like, you could see it. It was just vape all over the place. So.
Oh, because of your friend you lent it to?
Yeah, I lent it to him, but I let it air out. It's going down.
You know who you are.
Blowing that douche flute.
I know who he is. The douche flute? Is that what you call it?
Douche flute, yeah.
Jeez. Don't piss off the vapors, man. They might rev at you.
Vape Nation.
I'm falling behind on some of the donation stuff here, guys. The only problem with the donations is they come in so quickly. Hey, Jay, been watching you forever, and you inspired me to make a channel. Thanks for all you guys do. Would you use Threadripper for main production? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I need to get my hands on it first, obviously. We're going to an AMD event later on, so hopefully we'll learn some more. Just like anything else, it comes down to how the real world performance translates, and we have not received that data yet. So, it takes time. And again, if I miss your donation, I apologize, I really do. Let me see if I can pull up the archive.
Was there a way to pull it up?
Yeah, I can do it on the control panel. And you can kind of go through some of the comments while I'm bringing this up.
1/3 CAD, 1/3 YouTuber, 1/3 gamer. Is Vega FE worth it? We haven't tried Vega yet, have we?
So Alex offered to send me a Vega.
Okay.
A Vega Frontier Edition. So I don't know. I mean, we're not that far away from Vega Gaming Edition, but so a lot of the focus, like PC Per did a really good video on it. Gamers Nexus all the FE stuff you guys have seen out there so far has pretty much been purchased by the outlets that are showing it, because AMD didn't send those. And gaming performance has been lackluster. But the Frontier Founders Edition card, the Vega Founders Edition card, though, is not a gaming card. Like AMD themselves has said, this card is not designed, the particular card as we know it as a Frontier Edition with the BIOS and stuff that's on there is not set up for gaming.
Oh.
It's set up for deep learning and all that sort of stuff. They're trying to compete directly with like the Titan stuff and whatnot from NVIDIA in terms of that aspect of GPU compute power. Now, I've personally seen that you guys can't see it, but that 3-fan card in the case over there is a Fire Pro card. And it is the exact same card that we knew as the 7790, okay? Or is it the 7990? I can't remember what the numbers were, which was a dual GPU gaming card. It's the exact same hardware with different firmware. And if you took the firmware and swapped it, that card could become a gaming card. Its gaming performance goes way up, and its compute power goes way down. So the firmware and the BIOS have a lot to do with the performance of the card.
Gotcha.
So I'm expecting Vega to hopefully be that, because there's been a lot of hype around Vega, and if it doesn't deliver, it's just going to be a really weird scenario where we have the CPU division at AMD finally competing and performing where we want it to be, but then the graphics division, which has always been decent, falls back. I mean, time will tell.
Yeah. Okay, so I have my PC with two Sapphire R9 390X Nitro paired with the 1700X at 4 GB gigahertz. Do you think RX Vega is for me? Recently moved from Z170 with 6700 to 1700X. This is the best experience I had.
I would expect your Vega RX performance to be better than a 390X. It has to, because then you're talking a gaming card versus another gaming card. And if a previous gen standard PCB layout graphics card like the 390X is not being beaten handily by a 3D RAM or 3D memory card like Vega with HBM, then what's the point? So it has to beat it. Now, again, you can't ask me advice on what I think you should do about a product that's not out yet. You can't. I just can't. That's irresponsible to make recommendations to people on a piece of product I have not personally tested yet.
Okay. Is there a market for enhanced efficiency liquid cooling? Feasible to compete if a compact system can get theoretical sub-ambient temps? That's a bit confusing, but I'm guessing liquid nitrogen? LN2
No.
setups?
The problem with liquid nitrogen is it's a temporary cooling. It evaporates.
Yeah.
Like if you guys look at my video we did at Computex when we did the EVGA press day, we did a video with Kingpin, and he actually demonstrated that he has a closed loop nitrogen system, which is really neat, but that's not efficient by any means. I mean, they have to with the level of overclocking they're doing and how much nitrogen they go through, or LN2, he said they have to fill those tanks like weekly. And it's like 150 liter tanks.
And it takes up like half of the room just to do that setup.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got all the super chats right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. Holy crap, guys. Let's go from top to bottom. It looks like it.
The new ones are just coming up.
No, the new ones are coming in the bottom. That's weird. So newest is on the bottom. Okay. Let's see. QB42 says, "Love your stuff. My pump doesn't." Oh, so you keep an eye on the main chat.
Okay.
And I'll keep an eye on the super chat. QB42 says, "Love your stuff. My pump doesn't always start with the computer. Usually requires me to fiddle with it. I can feel it stutter and give up. It's a DDC." So like anything else, the pump is a bearing, and bearings do wear out. That's why if you run pumps at full speed, they can over time wear out. The bearing could wear out. The electronics can wear out, and it's probably time for a new pump. I mean, that's if you hit it and it starts to go. Sometimes that means the impeller. I don't know if you've ever seen inside the DDC, just like the D5. It's just a magnet in there, okay, and it spins on a magnet, and so that can start to get off balance and touch the side and get kind of wedged. Which is why if you smack it and it starts to go, why is that funny?
I can imagine you smacking it, but it's a lot more.
You've seen me do it before.
Yeah, it's a lot more violent.
If you have to do this, it's time for a new pump. There's no fix. Zebi, thanks for all your videos. It's given me so much. Started water cooled because of you, and there is a new computer coming custom loop. Wait, and there is in my new computer coming custom loop. I think we're dealing with a English not as a foreign or as a first, so I'm doing my best here. I'm starting with soft tubing, I like the way you spelled tubing. That's funny. And go up later. Love your work. Thank you. There's nothing wrong with soft tubing. There's not. If you get good tubing like the LRT stuff from Primo Chill, the problem with cheap soft tubing is like happened with yours.
Yeah.
Is it leaches plasticizer, and the plasticizer is what makes it soft and malleable. Okay, and that starts to make it look cloudy and kind of filmed up inside. And that's the difference between the cheap tubing and the good tubing. Now, what I could recommend too, if you don't want to deal with that, is get colored tubing. White, black. You can get red, blue, green.
Just to fill it out.
Yeah, and so you can have a colored theme without worrying about the fluid changing colors or worried about plasticizer clouding up your system. Anything in the main chat you want to talk about?
Not yet.
Blink twice if what?
If JayzTwoCents is holding you captive.
I'm holding myself captive. I heard my phone going off.
You're holding yourself captive. Why would you do that?
You know, I'm pretty positive that. Oh, and we have to finish. We have to finish registering for the AMD thing today.
Oh,
Don't let me forget.
okay.
It's like people know when I'm going on vacation. Nick has seen it firsthand. Like my email, my phone.
Everything blows up.
It just everyone's like, "Oh my God, Jay, we need your attention before you go." It's like, no, you don't. I'm gone. Peace out. Let's see. I already answered that one about the Threadripper computer.
Are you guys judging the EVGA commercial contest?
No. No, it's all being handled internally. All I'm doing is building the system that we're giving away. They asked me if I would be willing to do a custom build, and they're providing most of the hardware. I'm providing all of the water-cooled stuff through sponsorship, of course, and probably going with PrimaChill on that one. And I'm going to do all the custom hardline tubing and all that stuff, and then they are going to be shipping it off. But it's going to be built, and if the winner wants, signed by me.
Ooh.
I'll tag your system and devalue it some.
You should just get little plaques with like your signature, so you,
You
just
know-
like rivet it in.
I know, just like the Nismo plaques in the car.
Yeah.
Just get a bunch of those.
Sorry, I heard car.
I heard a trash truck. Are you really into diesels?
No, that wasn't a diesel truck. That's
sounds-
a street sweeper.
That sounds terrible.
Don't worry about
He's
it.
into street sweepers. You guys heard it?
Oh my god.
Oh, look at that. It's like a LN2 truck. It's all those LN2 tanks. Oh, our delivery's here. No, I'm just kidding. That's what we'd be
It's
dealing with.
kegerator, yeah.
It's for the bar.
Yeah.
over there. Yeah, we're by a bar. It's convenient.
Guess where we're going right after this.
Oh, you're talking about that revving?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh man, so I'm not gonna tell them any details
Oh.
but I already put out a tweet, right?
Yeah, you did.
Saying if we started a GT3 Cup team and made a channel about it, would you guys watch? You know how many people thought we were talking about sim racing? No, we're talking about the real fucking thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was hyped about that.
A lot of people were. Yeah, a lot of people. No, we're talking about doing the real thing. And no, not me driving. Hell no. No. We're, professional driver, professional team. Right now, we've already started communicating with a few manufacturers. We hit up Bentley, McLaren. We got a quote back from McLaren.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
already?
a little out of our price range, though.
What about Audi?
I don't know. We didn't talk to Audi yet. But yeah, the McLaren quote came back at like 1.5 million. So no,
Sounds
but
right.
this is we're trying really hard to make this happen. A YouTube funded and sponsored race team.
That was so sweet.
No one's done that. And if you try and do it now, then you're copying us.
We thought of it first.
Sorry, TJ. Millennial Dad. Option. Oh, we already did that one. One third. Okay. Sviatoslav Litchev. I'm sure I mutilated your name. Hey, Jay, I have my PC with 2 Oh, we already did that one, didn't we?
I think so.
Recently moved from a Z170. Yeah, okay. So you answered that one.
Greetings from Germany. Hi.
Greets. They normally say greets from Germany because like
Greets.
greetings like translates directly to greets.
Oh, greets.
Yeah. This is a funny looking Barnacles. Yeah, exactly. I got coffee. It's right here. It's white girl's coffee, but
It's okay to be basic.
I'm a basic bitch. I admit it. Okay, is there? I already answered that one. Lyric. Jay, I did a thing. Thanks for the inspiration. I can't send links, but it's a Case Labs gallery. Ooh, it's in the Case Labs gallery. I'm also going to be doing something in September with Case Labs. It's going to be cool. Some cool stuff coming up. Anubis Mark, thank you for the donation. Where's Jerry? Just kidding. Love you too in the stream. Thank you. Where's Jerry? I don't know. I imagine he's off doing his stream maybe.
I like the vroom rooms. I like the vroom rooms too.
Be careful with the alcohol. It has a low boiling point. Local cavitation bubbles forming in it will eat away at your metal. Needs to stay below 80 C. Oh God, dude, the fluid. So like I said, the water never gets higher than like 26 C.
Yeah.
So unless alcohol just inherently gets hotter because it absorbs more, which I highly doubt it's going to absorb 3 times or 4 times as much, we should stay way below 80 C. If he's talking about fluid temp. So that's why whatever hardware we do this with, we have to expect to just write it off as a loss. You know what I mean? Go full Linus on that.
That's a risk you're willing to take.
I know. Go whoever wins. Barnacles looks different this morning. Must be the new coffee. Crazy Dad Demo says, good evening from the UK. Daughter just started PC gaming. As a dad, would you recommend her first? Is a potato PC or something for her friends to be envious of? You know, that really comes down to you as a parent. So I'm all for spoiling my daughters when they deserve it. But I'm also a hard-ass parent when I need to be. Do you agree?
Yeah.
My daughter's been playing games now since she was 5, and she's 8.5. Well, 8 now. So she's been playing 3 years on the same A10 7850K APU with it had a 250 in it, an R7 250 in it, and then I upgraded her to a 380X. But it's still running the same system, and she's really been bugging me for a new one. But every time we go to do it, man, she turns on that little attitude, and then I tell her, I'm not building you a new PC, heck no. So it's up to you as a parent. Building her something, though, for her friends to be envious of, I feel like, this is my parenting advice, take it or leave it. I feel like that's putting the wrong attitude in your child. Because that's going to promote bragging. No one likes a braggart. And I wouldn't want my daughter making people who have less than her feel bad. Because my daughter's very fortunate. She has lots of stuff, we have lots of stuff, but the last thing I want is for people around her to feel bad because they don't have what she has. I mean, that's terrible. That's wrong on a lot of levels.
Gotta keep it in the humble zone.
But I can also understand from the dad perspective that you just want the best for your kids.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a hard thing for me, but I certainly don't spoil her. Is it still worth buying a Razer blade? GTX 1060 2017 now, or am I better off waiting for the 11th gen NVIDIA GPUs? Love your channel. Dude, they just started the 1080 Max Q GPUs. I don't think we're going to see another mobile GPU for a while, honestly. We might see maybe a Max Q like 1070, maybe, but I feel like this should have had a Max Q in it, honestly. I mean, feel how warm this is. It's just sitting here, right? You feel feel the top right here.
That feels like mine when it's running.
Like under load?
Yeah.
Yeah,
under
this
load.
is just sitting here idle looking at the stream, and it's toasty. My lap is getting sweaty.
I guess. Oh, it's a little bit sweat.
Oh, that's gross.
My bad. Don't look at it.
I would recommend for someone that needs a laptop that's portable and good for gaming, this guy right here. This Stealth, I love this Stealth. I
I do too.
Huh?
I do too.
Yeah, this is that one I did the review of, and this ended up being his graduation present that we gave him. And it's thin. It's a really thin form factor.
Super light.
7700 HQ, and it's got SSD as well as a 1060 in it.
And the monitor, because...
Oh, it's 120 hertz,
Yeah.
1080p panel.
That was like... Ooh.
Yeah. And it came in at like $14.99, so $1,500, and for what it is, it's a brushed aluminum. I can't say anything bad about it, honestly, other than it's very smeary and smudgy, just like this one. But because it's got that brushed aluminum.
Yeah, it's a nice finish, but it's a little difficult to keep clean.
Yeah. Is it still worth buying? Oh, Jay, do 2 Titan XP cards overclock better than 2 EVGA 1080 Ti for the Win 3 cards, or should I just wait for 2 Kingpins? Now, the Kingpin is still the same core as a 1080 Ti. Okay, the Kingpin itself, as it ships, is not going to really be any faster than a For the Win 3 on air. It's still on air. The difference is it's a guaranteed 2025 overclock, so they're binned. Now, 2025, just about every GPU we've had come through here achieves that. So, I mean, it's a guarantee, so it kind of takes some of that lottery aspect out of it. But it comes with a completely custom power delivery system built onto the board. It's not the same power delivery that's on the For the Win 3, which a lot of people have been spreading misinformation, going, oh, it's just got a copper cooler. It's the same thing as the For the Win 3. No, it's completely different power design. And that's only going to be beneficial to people looking to do exotic cooling to try and break records and do overclocking as a hobby. If that's not you, then don't wait for the Kingpins. The Titan XP, though, has more CUDA cores than a 1080 Ti core. And it is much faster than my Titan X Pascals, but not the newest Pascal card, on water. So, yeah. And I'm running mine on water at 2050, both of them on SLI at home with Skunkworks. And the ones I put in Terry's build just decimated mine by a lot. And I thought maybe we'd be talking a little bit of a difference here. No, a lot.
Huge gap.
So yeah, and those 2 cards I put in Terry's system were still the only 2 XPs I got my hands on, and they were gone 2 days later, right? So I still don't have any long-term experience with them.
Oh, here's a good one. Do you ever think about doing a budget gaming build for around 500, 600, 700?
We've already done that.
Yeah, but it died, so were we going to start that back up again? Remember that AMD?
Well, it died because I pushed it really hard. And I was like, we could just keep overclock. I still think the CPU might be a good, actually. Quite a few people messaged me afterwards. Now, I was very aware that Gigabyte UD3 board, it's got like 5 revisions to that board. They kept making changes. But a lot of people have been messaging me going, dude, it's your board. It's your board. I guarantee it's the board. It's like the 3rd UD3 I've had. And I'm not inexperienced with the UD3. It could very well be the board. The system we did the video on, my sister's system, remember what shut down on us?
Yeah.
That's also a UD3 board.
Oh, I'm starting to see a trend.
Look at the reviews.
Okay.
But anyway, I just haven't had time to tear that apart and see if that CPU is still good. Because to be honest, like I said, that train has left the station. Ryzen 3 is going to replace all of that FX stuff in terms of budget builds. So when Ryzen 3 comes out, you will see ultra low cost build guides from us, where our idea is like, we've got to stretch $500, my own money again, because I love putting my own money on the line because it makes me think so much different.
You put more effort.
You've seen me sit there and struggle with like, oh my God, where do I want to spend this money?
Yeah.
When we have a warehouse full of parts, and then it's like, I'm struggling to pick the parts because now there's so much more on the line.
At stake, yeah. But it adds that element, like it puts you in the other person's shoes. Like I have 500, it forces you to use that and not stretch it.
Also, too, there is not a single build guide or parts list you can put together that the PC master race is not going to just shit on and tear apart and say, you did this wrong, or you should have picked this, or you should have went with that. Then no matter how you do it, you're wrong. Any price point, you're wrong.
I also think it's timing, though, because sometimes you get really good sales and sometimes you don't. Like
we kind of cheat a little bit, too, because we live local to a micro center where we get stupid discounts because the CPUs are already all under cost. And then they're like, buy a motherboard and save $30 more. So it's like, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to do a $500 build at Micro Center, but the idea I kind of wanted to do next is either a $500 where we spend it at Newegg, or like Amazon, where the pricing is much more comparable to what everyone has access to.
I still think like a Craigslist challenge would be kind of cool.
Oh, you mean Scrapyard Wars?
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you buy used parts now, you're just going to be compared to Scrapyard Wars.
I mean, that's what I tried doing with my build, just all of Craigslist, but things fell through, so I just started buying it on my own.
Yeah, like you got that 7700K and that motherboard combo.
Yeah.
But then you saw that like you could have got pretty much the same combo at Micro Center for the same price for brand new.
Ish. But
I mean, you would have spent maybe $25 more.
Yeah.
Because he got a Strix Z270 board for it, and you could have, with the discount on the motherboard and then the CPU only costing $279 there, you could have gotten it for the same price.
Yeah.
But oh well.
It's closer to have to make the drive out.
Yeah, that's true. It is an 1.5 to 2 hour round trip drive. Hey Jay, I have a 6850K. I can get 4.1 gigahertz at 1.35 volts, but I can get 4.6 stable at 1.4 volts. Would you run 1.4 volts to get a 500 megahertz more? It depends on what you're doing. If you need the 500 megahertz, if you're doing workflow like rendering, editing, live streaming, whatever, where the core clock is everything, like Premiere loves core clock. Core clock is king with Premiere. I will see more of an improvement by overclocking a CPU farther than taking another CPU at the same frequency range and adding cores, if that makes sense. So core clock is everything with some programs. If that affects you, then yeah, as long as you can keep it cool. I tend to run my processors though, the X99 and, well, not so much the X299, I haven't tried overclocking that yet. I run mine at 1.35 volts daily on water, which is perfectly fine. I have run 1.4, but the problem is once you go above 1.35, then the heat kind of like exponentially goes up. So you might find that going from 1.35 to 1.4 might add 15C. You know what I mean? Because it just starts to really curve up. But I would say maybe try 1.35 at 4.5 or 4.4 and call it a day. Hey Jay, I was looking to buy a 27-inch 2K 165 hertz monitor. I was wondering if a 1080 is good enough for ultra settings in games, or should I just grab a 1080 Ti? $200 difference between those cards. A 1080, depending on the title, should get you close to 165 FPS, but a 1080 Ti is going to pretty much guarantee it at 1080p. So, yeah, my answer is the same every time. When someone asks me like, Jay, should I get a 1080 or should I get a 1080 Ti? That if the budget's there, get the 1080 Ti. Yeah, you're gonna have longer
longevity out of the card.
Right.
Greater longevity out of the card.
I think some might dare to call that future-proofing.
Oh boy.
we love the term future-proofing in the PC Master Race, don't we?
How to
future-proof to avoid... No, here's a video title for you guys. How to future-proof to avoid your bottleneck.
Oh my gosh. You need tinfoil hats with that one.
The amount of cringe and just the saltiness that would be in that video. Not from me, from the audience. Yeah. Anything you want to say? I might be talking a lot compared to you. He's quiet. He's a man of few words.
Quiet, yeah. I haven't found anything.
All those comments going by and nothing?
Well,
1080 Ti equals 800 now. That's only a $50 increase.
why not Banana Monkey? Because coconut. That's why. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll try. No promises.
Sorry, Boogie's been DMing me a lot right now because he's getting ready to have his gastric bypass.
Oh.
So he's like really like just nervous, as expected.
Yeah. Well, like any surgery.
Yeah, he was texting me a bunch of updates because his surgery was postponed because they saw something in his echocardiogram or his heart tests, so they ordered an EKG because they want to make sure his heart's strong enough for surgery. What people don't realize is when you're a really big guy and you go under anesthesia, it's a huge strain on your body. It's a huge strain on your heart. And so when your heart is already under huge stress, because when you're that big, you've got all that tissue it has to supply blood to. It's constantly, it's like 60 psi on stock internals, right? When you go under, when it's already under stress and you go under anesthesia and it's under more stress, that leads to possible death on the table. So they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's before they put him under the knife. And so he's just been texting me, kind of venting a little bit.
Lots of redundancies. Well, I mean, you got it. It's a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, already, and I know this is kind of off topic, but we'll get back on topic. Already for the longest time, for a couple of years, he's been trying to get the surgery. But it was a catch-22 because doctors were like, we don't want to operate on you, you're too big. And he's like, the point of the surgery is to save the life of a guy like me who's too big, right?
Yeah.
And all of the politics aside of lose it naturally, just whatever, all that aside, it's an intervention technique, okay? I had it, right? And you look at it this way, like, basically when a doctor tells someone like him, we're not going to operate on you, that's like, that's saying, here's your death sentence, okay? He's 42 years old. Most people that are over 500 pounds don't live to be 42 years old. So he knows, like, okay, something has to be done.
Yeah.
And this is a huge deal. This is a huge commitment he's making. And so he's like mentally ready for it. He's been on his liquid diet and stuff, and he gets a call yesterday or day before, and he's like, they're postponing my surgery, and he's like freaking out because he's already just kind of like, okay, I'm trying to get myself where I need to be. I'm scared. I'm making a life change. I don't know what to expect. Am I going to die during surgery? And he's like ready, and then suddenly he's told like we're postponing a week. That just is like a slap to your psychology.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, back on topic.
What about the 350Z?
That's his.
Yeah, that's mine.
You know how many people still fucking think I have a 350Z and I sold it 2 years ago? Almost 2 years ago.
Well, a lot of
I
people.
bought the 370 Thanksgiving Day 2015.
I got the text on Thanksgiving Day, like, what are you doing? It's like, I got a car. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But
but what's funny, what I love so much is when, and this is asshole Jay, I'm sorry if this is you, but it has to be said. When someone will put in the comment section, oh my God, that's the most beautiful 350Z I've ever seen. 350Z with hearts emojis. And it's like, if you love the 350Z so much, you would fucking know that's not a 350Z you just said you loved.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. As a car guy, guys, that's like someone pointing to your 1080 Ti and going, oh my God, I love that 1070.
I love that RX 580.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So of course it's gonna trigger me. Foxy Studio says, hey Jay and Nick, thanks for the awesome videos. I've learned so much, so I want to give you guys something back. Much love from Denmark, and keep up the good work. Love you both, no homo. We'll love you homo too, it's fine. Especially for that 200 DKK donation. I have no idea what that translates to. But I'm going to pretend that's like $2,000. Thank you, sir. Jay, I have an MSI R9 390X gaming. I literally cannot overclock anything or undervolt at stock without artifacting and Firestrike. Ideas by NVIDIA. No, that's not me being an AMD hater. That's just AMD graphics cards have never been known for their overclocking in, say, the last 4 generations.
Well, yeah, you had that problem a lot when we played Battlefield, too. Like, way back in the day when you still had AMD.
I never had AMD graphics cards. I had my AMD CPU.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I had a 570, and then I had a 580, and then I had a 680. And I had 780. And I had 780 SLI. Then I had 780 3-way SLI. And then I had 980 3-way SLI.
And I was still at 580 by then.
And then I skipped 980 Ti altogether. I never put 980 Ti's in my system. And then I went straight to 1080s. And I skipped 980 Ti because I went with Titan X Maxwell 3-way SLI. And then from Titan X Maxwell to Titan XP X.
That was kind of a cluster because
It's still a cluster.
Yeah.
And then I went back to 2-way because 3-way is no longer supported.
Bummer.
What is your best GPU RMA experience? I'm dealing with a terrible one right now. I'm probably not the right guy to ask. You gotta understand. The unfortunate thing, and I say unfortunate, but it's a nice thing to have, but the unfortunate thing is when I have a problem, brands fall all over themselves to make it right because I'm a person of influence. And I leverage that at times. Like for instance, my 780. Remember when I was doing the custom BIOS flashing?
And
A brand new one. The day I got it, I wrecked it. I bricked it because I flashed the wrong BIOS to it. And it was an EVGA card. And I had just started working with EVGA at that time. Like they sent me like a 750 Ti to do a review on. They didn't send me 780s because they didn't know me. I didn't have a big channel. They were like, well, we'll send you a 750 Ti. Because when you work with a brand that's new to you, usually they'll send you something that's more or less like, if you walk away with it, they have less of a loss if you don't fulfill your end of the
it's
bargain.
kind of like applying for a loan.
Exactly. So what I did was I basically hit up EVGA and I was like, guys, I bricked this card. I was straight up with them. I could have just been like, it doesn't work. I don't know what happened. You know? No, I told them straight, guys, I was doing BIOS flashing and I bricked it. I can't get it back. And they RMA'd it for me. Okay, but they could have also been like, sorry,
Can't do it.
that's all on you.
Yeah.
The thing is, an average consumer probably would have gotten the "you're shit out of luck" response, you know. And then to be completely transparent, I have not dealt with video card RMAs prior to YouTube. I never had a video card die on me, so I never had to experience that. So my experience from RMAs today, I don't feel like are directly comparable to the general public. Now, what if we did this?
Have me do it.
No, yeah. Secret shopper.
Yeah.
Right? What if we start auditing the RMA experiences amongst these brands ourselves? Because we are in a position where if the brands just were like, Jay, you're cut off, we're not sending you nothing no more, I'd be like, bye, I've got the funds to run this channel myself.
Yeah.
So if a brand didn't like that we exposed bad RMA experience, we could just still float the company ourselves. But I think warranties and standing by your product isn't as important as the product performance itself. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, totally. Completely agree. Totally.
We'll call it the I don't know what we'd call it, but definitely it would be like a that person. It would definitely be like auditing the RMA experience. You know, secret shoppers. Do you get an A or do you get an F? Are you okay with a C?
Are you a C? Yeah. Do you want to just pass?
There's always that student that's like, oh my God, I got a C. My parents are going to kill me. And the other guy that's like, yes, I got a C.
It's
Woo!
passing. I survived.
Or there's that guy that got a D-, and they're like, yeah, I'm graduating. Right?
There's a certain cutoff.
Jay is so privileged. Am I privileged? Is it the pigment of my skin? Is that why I'm privileged? No, it might be because I work hard and you're a dumbass.
Some savagery in the morning.
Love your
Was it
videos.
like-
You remind me a lot of my friend's older brother. Is that a good thing? Not only with PC enthusiasm, but also you, looks like the two of you could be almost twins. Poor guy.
We've had that conversation. Like, what if you had a twin to work for you? Like, if there are 2 days?
Ah, 2 J's.
2 J's.
2 J's. Justin Slagle's asking, so Nick, how's the new car?
I'm loving it. I can't wait to start modding it.
RMA cop?
RMA. Undercover RMA.
Brands watch this stream. So you guys might want to expect something.
Pop quiz. Here we go.
What I mean, seriously, we'd have to register the product and everything with like
Burner accounts.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll like take the cooler off and just like mess up the thermal paste and put it back on. Most of these brands don't put warranty stickers like.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of them. Some do, most don't.
Watch, you just like restarted quality assurance for everybody just by saying that.
We are the industry QA. You got to get drunk on Livestream again. You're such a useless drinker. Absolutely.
Would you guys ever do a retro?
What am I?
70s
Wait, a
stuff?
useless drinker? What's a useful drinker?
I have never met a useful drinker. Well, I guess beer pong and stuff. That's when they could win because they could just keep drinking even if you guys lose. So you keep playing, but you gotta get bet. Like you gotta be good.
Emil Christensen says, "I donate to a JayzTwoCents racing team. Make it happen." And what TV channel would it be shown on? The nice thing about this is we wouldn't be taking no donations for this. It'd be all venture capitalist money. So.
Oh, would you guys ever do a retro 70s Datsun 280X build?
Oh, of course. They're just hard to find.
Yeah. That'd be pretty fun, though.
Is a 7820X worth it for gaming and a bit of video production? Currently 6700K. Guys, keep up your awesome work. I would say stick with your 6700K. If you're only doing a little bit of video production, 6700K is perfectly fine. And like I said earlier with Premiere, it loves core clock. Those can overclock decently. Push it to 4.6, 4.7, call it a day. Don't spend money on adopting X299 for something you're not spending the majority of your time doing.
Yeah.
Bo Kelly asks, have you ever thought about doing a collab with a case maker to come out with your own case line? Maybe a limited edition from Fractal or Case Labs. The problem is the amount of money that goes into the tooling of case production. I think the last estimate I was told once by one of the manufacturers, and we're not talking manufacturers that make super custom stuff like the Cosmos Special Edition sitting over there, right? Is just the tooling cost, not the manufacturing cost, the tooling cost of getting tools and CNC machines and benders and all that stuff set up to make a case runs north of $100,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's a hell of an investment from someone to invest into me and say, Jay, help us design a case.
Yeah.
Right? I've had brands approach me for JayzTwoCents edition stuff. So far, nothing's come through. But for a case,
That'd be kind of unique, though, because I'd like to see what you do.
I'd like to see what I would do. I mean, shoot, I don't know.
Like, just set you loose on designing something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Any thoughts on AMD Threadripper or GPUs? I answered that earlier. I don't give my thoughts on rumors. You'll get my thoughts when I get my hands on it. If I were to get an R9 290X at a decent price, would it be worth it now? Miners screwed up the RX market. 290X is a bit dated, man. People I know who still have a 290X are starting to struggle. DLED my CPU, use liquid metal on top of CPU too. I've seen the videos that are out there of people using the liquid metal. It showed like a 4 to 5 C drop on air. I don't know about the longevity of it. I also don't know about conductivity of it. Like if you put a little bit too much and it squirts out the side and it gets on the PCB, what's going to happen? Is it going to short it out? I don't know. So I'm not very familiar with the liquid metal stuff that people have been using. See, Ricky Merton, hey Jay, try gargling water so you don't have to keep clearing your throat. Also, live channel needs more plenty. Where's plenty? Oh, it's right there.
Over there.
Yeah, I should gargle water on live stream. Yeah, that's what I should do. Now my throat's dry today because I rode I rode my bike to the office, and I tend to ride like Michael Jordan dunks. It's like so it's like, yeah. I used to chew gum when I would ride because it kept my mouth moist. These are things you just don't want to talk about on the internet.
Big
right?
League chew.
I like to keep my mouth moist. Keeps my throat moist.
What's your favorite gum to chew?
Excited for Ryzen 3 lineup, planning a build for my daughter who is 5 to play some basic games. Personally, I would love to go overkill on it, but the wife is being an overbearing voice of reason. That's what wives are for.
Yeah. Solution: don't have kids, don't have wife.
But if you have a picky car, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And it costs just as much. Moving on. Moving to liquid soon. Any tips or tricks for a noob? Don't spill it?
Don't spill it.
I've done some videos about water cooling for noobs. They're a bit dated, but they still apply. I mean, we should do a new one with the nice production value, but
yeah.
It's funny when people get mad, like, Jay, you've already done that video. And then I'm like, did I? And I look it up, and it's like, I did it in 2013.
Things have changed.
I did it in my living room. It was the worst production value ever. So trying to do it and making it again and make things look a little bit more bearable with recycled content. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Simpsons already did it.
It's already good to update it though, because like,
yeah.
Especially like back then, things weren't as unique or upgraded, scaled up to what they are right now. Sorry, that didn't sound right at all.
I'm just trying to get what you're saying, but things aren't scaled up to what they are today.
Like, it's a lot easier to get a hold of water cooling stuff. Like, a ton easier because they come in kits. Like,
there's definitely more kits today, but I would say the parts availability from when I started this channel 5 years ago till now hasn't really changed. I mean, you still have your outlets. Performance-PCs.com is the main one now ever since the frozen CPU debacle a few years back. I I would actually argue and say there's probably less water cooling outlets today than there used to be in terms of where to buy the parts. But more of these companies have now started focusing on all-in-one kits that you assemble, but it has everything you need. You don't have to worry about it being compatible. What you have now, though, is more blocks for GPUs than there ever been. Yeah. Back in the day, and I say back in the day, I'm talking about like only just 3 or 4 years ago even, GPU blocks usually only supported the reference designs. Like reference cards were the only things that got blocks. But now you're finding companies like EK and Bits Power and now even Fantech's getting involved in the water cooling market that are supporting, and Corsair has that. Remember we looked at CES, Corsair has that line of custom cooling water stuff, which again is just a collaboration with Aqua Computer, but they support a lot of the custom GPUs now, which they didn't before. So now it's like, yeah, water cool the custom stuff, take advantage of that power delivery and get some more out of it. Considered a water chiller or phase change cooling? Briefly, the problem with phase change and chillers is the system doesn't get to power right on. It takes time for the phase change to happen because it takes time to remove the heat from the liquid in there. So the way it works is the chiller is usually tied into the power switch so that when you turn on the power switch, the chiller comes on and then it gets down to its minimum temp and then it will power on the motherboard. Like it goes through the chiller. It's like it's in between bridged. I don't know what the proper term is. But you can't turn on your system until the chiller is at the proper temp. And then that could take several minutes, 5 minutes sometimes. And so a lot of the times you've seen it, I'm like, crap, I got to do this real quick. I flip on the system, I do what I got to do, and I turn it off. I don't have time to wait. So I would never personally do it as a main system for me. Something to play with would be neat. You just have to insulate the motherboard because condensation, right? What happens when you go deep below the ambient temperature? Condensation happens. It's no different than a glass of ice water, right? Yeah. The condensation forms on the outside of the glass because the difference in temperature between the sealed environment, or even I guess it'd be sealed in the liquid, but in the sealed environment versus the exterior, the condensation starts to form where it's warmer. So the condensation would start to form on the outside, right? Now, the proper Peltiers and chillers have a lot of redundancy, or not redundancy, but safety measures in place, but you still have to like insulate the motherboard with clay and other things, and it's just a lot of hassle. Why, when heat is the main issue with a computer, are power PCIe PCI connectors standardized, but not thermal management, leaving us with a million heat sinks and water blocks for each component? I don't think that's a very fair question, because interfaces are a lot different than thermal standardizing. I mean, you're comparing connectors to thermal management. I don't see how those two relate, honestly.
It no makes sense.
Anything you want to say over there? Sorry, I'm kind of getting towards the bottom of this, but there's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, people are asking where's your car?
In the garage?
Yeah. I don't think it's left for a while.
Nizzy doesn't drive much. The longest trip she's been on recently was when we went to San Diego. Yeah. To go meet up with one of our internet friends who was on vacation out here, and we went to K1 karting and stuff. We played around though. We were revving it. We were making fire. We were making flames, and
oh my gosh,
we were scaring little old ladies. And
that lady was scared though. She drove by with her ear.
Yeah, she was like this. She drove by. She was like plugging her ear, and her windows were up.
Yeah.
My car is kind of loud. I mean,
it's a lot loud. Like even when you go by a wall and you rev it, like I jump
when it
sometimes.
Bounces back at you. Yeah. Like when you go into a tunnel, if I blip the throttle or do a rev match, usually I see him like jump over there if he's not expecting it.
Was not expecting.
Hello from Saudi Arabia. Love you guys. What's up, Tech for Life? I assume things are warm in Saudi. Just a Starbucks donation? Nice, thank you. I started at the wrong. Sorry, guys. Started at the bottom. Hey, Jay, I'm looking to upgrade my case. I was looking for suggestions. I currently have a CM Storm Striker, and I'm looking for something flashy. Okay, so if you like your CM Storm Striker, wait a month or so. Wink, wink. The stuff you saw at Computex is going to be out soon from Cooler Master. The new half case looks really cool. We'll be doing reviews on that. So if you want something flashy, though, a lot of stuff from Cooler Master now is coming with RGB and stuff built in. So
the whole theme was RGB. at CES.
That's
There's
true.
a lot of stuff.
That wasn't CES, Computex.
Oh yeah, sorry, Computex.
Did I say CES?
I think you said CES.
Okay,
Whatever.
Computex. When we went to Taiwan. Geared Inc. says, Jay, do you and Nick have anything special you would advise for a new YouTuber? And what are you two most looking forward to for tech this year for PC Tech? I'll let Nick answer that, since he's the one getting to experience this as a newbie himself, jumping into a well-established channel.
Yeah.
What are the challenges you've experienced?
Camera work. You got to be consistent, and at least.
And he's free to say whatever he wants. I mean,
got to work on consistency with camera work and just overall structure. Because, I mean, if you're starting out, I think you have a little more playroom to experiment with your style. Would you agree?
Yeah, because your style grows with you.
Yeah, and then
I've got 5 years of doing this.
Yeah, so I kind of have to jump into line. I can't like get creative-ish.
It's hard for you because you've jumped into a standard that's expected already.
Yeah.
And you're finding that even with your photography background, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a bro diesel.
Oh.
Sorry about your penis, man. Big old tires. Anyway, so yeah, it's one of those things where the camera work has to be
at a certain
standard.
Yeah.
There's some things that you kind of call yourself a perfectionist, but you're realizing that like there's a different level of perfection that I expect.
Mm-hmm.
That, and we're never going to achieve it, but we strive for it at least. That there's some things you're willing to let slide that I'm not.
Yeah.
Right. On the flip side, it's really weird for me to offload a lot of the camera work to you.
Because you still have that expectation that you have in your head. But
oh yeah, I can see the shots and things I want in my head, but it's very difficult for me to translate that to you.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you to spend a lot of time watching my videos and just kind of learning.
Feel it. Yeah.
Because like when I shot all the B-roll for this. Nick was actually gone buying his car when I was doing the review for this. So he was here when I was doing the talking head part, and then he split and I did all the B-roll. I think you would agree there were some angles in there that I used that you probably wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, but you also, like, even at Computex, we went over like how I should shoot, and slowly it's like I can see your structure now when you start doing that.
Yeah, I gave him sort of like an outline of like, if shooting a GPU, these are the shots you should get. If shooting we still have to do motherboard ones and stuff. But yeah, I had to give him some sort of guidance, because that was the hardest part for me as being the boss, was delegating something to him but not giving enough direction. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and then like, because when we started, I tried to get too creative with it, and I always got stuck on certain angles that I just kept doing over and over.
Yeah, you would give me like 10 clips of the same thing, because you also, if I shoot a shot and I don't like it, I delete the clip. And because it saves me so much time later digging through garbage clips to get the ones I like. But for a new YouTuber though, there's only one piece of advice I give anyone, and that is consistency. The YouTube algorithm, it awards consistency. You have to upload on a consistent basis. You have to be, you have to constantly be feeding the algorithm. You drop off the relevancy meter. It's like a relevancy meter, right? This channel is always uploading. This channel is always getting comments and likes and dislikes and interactions and shares and subscribes. So the channel gets ranked higher in the relevancy meter. But if you're just sporadically uploading and you're getting 100 views, 50 views, 10 views or whatever, you're so far off the meter on the bottom that you never get any air. You never get any lift. Consistency gives you the lift you need.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing I can suggest. Growth, as much as I'd like to say the studio and the backdrops and the nice camera and all that promotes our growth, it doesn't. The way we present ourselves promotes our growth. The personality. So you've also got to be entertaining to watch. You know, if you're like, hey guys, today I'm going to do a review of this laptop and I think it's a good laptop. Like, no one wants to watch that.
Yeah, you could have like an awesome setup, but if you as a person aren't, you know, let's say entertaining to watch.
If you've ever gone to theater, and I don't mean like movie theater, I mean live play. Stage theater, okay? Have you ever looked at one of those actors up close? The god-awful amount of makeup they're wearing? Have you noticed that? Like up close?
I haven't sat close
Okay,
enough.
so we have a family member that does theater production. Okay? The amount of makeup that they wear is terrifying up close.
Oh, wow.
Right? It is like mannequin levels of makeup. Because from a distance, it gives defined features on the face and the eyes and all that stuff. So it makes the person look more sharpened and whatnot. So the makeup isn't basically put on for this range. It's put on for people that are way out in the theater to be able to see and identify what's happening with the characters.
So
the way you present yourself on camera is the same way. You have to be super animated and over the top, and maybe not Kyle levels of animated and over the top, but no, just kidding. So you have to have more inflection in your voice. You have to have more, peaks and valleys in your tonality. Is that even a word? I don't know. So you have to think theater makeup in your actions. You have to just. People tell me all the time.
Don't be like me.
You're getting there. It's the same thing with camera work. Movement controls emotion.
It sets the mood.
Movement can do an awful lot for a shot. A boring shot can be made.
Angle too.
Yeah, but movement can do a lot with a boring shot because something that could be otherwise uninteresting can be made interesting with a slide shot or a reveal or whatever. I get so many people that are like, Jay, stop moving the camera and just put it on a tripod. Those are the people whose channels would never go anywhere. Because they would just place a camera on a tripod and go in front of it and talk super monotone like this because they don't get it. They don't understand presentation. So I've told the story a bunch of times. Like, to get used to talking on camera, what I used to do when I would drive back and forth to work, which is it was like a 25-minute commute each way, is I would do that super monster truck, Sunday. We're driving down the freeway right now. There's a red car going by. Oh my God. Like, I would do that. I looked like a lunatic. And my windows would be down in the nice weather.
Oh boy.
And I would just be doing that in my car, narrating everything I saw. Working on not saying and all the different things people do when
the filler.
Well, because what happens there is they kind of get ahead of their mouth, their thoughts do. So your brain kind of hits the brakes for a second to catch up. And that's where the and all that.
Bottlenecking.
Your brain's bottlenecking your mouth. No, your mouth is bottlenecking your brain. So I did that for a long time. And the reason why I did that super over the top was because you then pull it down to a place where it makes more sense. Like, I think people would agree right now while we're talking in this stream, you're more mellow and monotone than me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to talking like this. I never talk like this. You guys go watch my first videos. Welcome to JayzTwoCents YouTube channel, where I feel like I have so much more to offer the community. I do cars, PC, of tech, working on cars.
I would say that would be better than my first video.
But I had already been practicing. Because remember, I started with guidance from Holiday Doc, who was coaching me.
Oh, yeah.
So I had already had some ideas of what to do. But even then, I thought that I was talking like radio, like radio crackhead. But no, if you go back and watch the videos, like the first 5 videos, you'll see that it's just it's cringy. It's so bad.
Another tip: expect lots of retakes or resetting of
even
takes.
Now.
Yeah, but more than usual because my experience of doing my first video, it's there's a lot of curse words and then restart, and it's get this far and then screw up a take.
I think a lot of people try and emphasize the one take, and the one take is like the holy grail of video production. One takes are rare, and I think you've noticed that we've started. I hope the audience has noticed. We've started leaving some of the bloopers and stuff in that are funny, because I am struggling with trying to pull myself out of being too produced, too corporate produced, to where I don't want to dilute my personality by trying to make it too corporate.
Having the bloopers breaks that tension of trying to keep it.
But there's bloopers worth showing now too, because I get to bounce off you.
Yeah.
Where when I was alone in my home studio,
you just look crazy.
It was just a misspeak, and I would start over. It was nothing funny. But the video that's going to be going live next week, you guys have been asked. He's already laughing. We spent 8 hours editing that yesterday, and we still laugh.
Man.
We still laugh.
This is gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. It's good because it's awful. We did a full feature-length video with Fractal Design, and so we basically kind of took the premise of how we do our ads, and it's a 12-minute video about a product. And so it's just, we left in a lot of the bloopers because there was just no way not to. We would laugh so hard at it. I'm like, I can't edit this out. Sure, we did a retake where we did it without the blooper, but it was so much less funny that way. Do you agree? You agree?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to go live on Tuesday. Look for it Tuesday.
Should be good. It should be real good. Because, we turned it into something hilarious.
I bleed in the video.
Oh my gosh.
Sacrifices to the PC gods were indeed made. Let's see. Chad Roberts says, I want to do a custom water loop, but how often do we need to change the fluid? Also, I have a 7700K, two 1080 Ti, and SLI. Any recommendations? Go with at least two 360 millimeter radiators, in my opinion, if you can fit them. Fluid changing is going to depend on quite a few things. One, the manufacturer's suggestion is first and foremost. Also, two, how hot is the fluid getting? The hotter fluid gets, the more it tends to break down over time. You have two 1080 Ti's in there, which are going to be toasty, and that's going to be approximately 500 watts worth of heat to dissipate just between the graphics cards, not even including the CPU. So my suggestion to you would be to go with as much efficient radiator space that you can to try and keep the fluid temperatures down, which will increase the longevity. I find it to be about a rule of thumb to switch your fluid once a year. Some manufacturers will say you can go 2 years. I would go once a year.
Yeah, I haven't been following that.
I know, time goes by fast though, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm going to replace it this year. 1 year later, I'm going to replace it.
Thomas says, hey Jay, have you ever driven a 300ZX? A bit old school. Man, Z32s. So back when I was in high school, one of our sports teachers, I can't remember her name, but she was an older PE coach. She drove a yellow one. She had a yellow Z32 with the T-tops. It was brand new. It was well, I guess it was already like 5 years old at that time. It was like 90 or 91. Or maybe it was a 90. I don't remember. Anyway, I just always... That was where my infatuation with the Z platform started to grow, was that car. She had the chrome wheels. It was all factory, right? It had the factory chrome wheels. It was the twin turbo. And so it was just like, that car was so beautiful to me. And I think most people would agree that the Z32 body style was ahead of its time. It was very rounded and such. And it was coming off the heels of the first 300ZX, which was the very... it looked like a 280, but very squared. And it had a turbo version, but... So that was where I really wanted to start getting into Zs, and then a couple decades went by before I got my first one. But I've never driven a 300ZX, and there are a few of them in our Nissan Challenge group.
I got to sit in one. They feel awesome just because...
Oh, they feel kind of big though, don't they?
No, it feels more like a jet fighter cockpit, just because the console is a little bit higher up. It felt really neat. Just, I haven't sat in one.
Do you have to, when you're driving by, do you have to...
Yeah, you gotta prepare for takeoff. The catapult. That, and like I was talking to the guy. He had it has rear steering as well.
Do they all?
I think just the all-wheel drive ones, okay. But his specifically, he was going to do a lockout on it because
most people do.
Yeah.
Has anyone even commented that we're streaming in 60 FPS?
It was in the beginning, but there's mainly spam now.
Yeah. Victor S says 200 SEK is about $24.2388 US dollars. Wow. Cool. I still don't know what SEK is though. Jose, what is better, 2 GTX 1080 and SLI or 1 GTX 1080 Ti?
What can your wallet handle?
Is it true that if you do SLI, you can only put one monitor per card? That's not true. I ran 3 monitors on one card. In fact, it depends on the mode you want to do. For instance, if you want to do SLI performance mode, which is where you improve your gaming performance, you have to put them all on one card. It won't let you split them. If you want to do surround, then you can split them. But yeah, it actually tells you when trying to enable SLI, like it'll show you where they have to be plugged in and whatnot. So that's bogus when people say you can only put one card per monitor. That's not right.
Oh, here's one. Do you think your 370 could take my KO Ford Mark 6 GTI? Yes, I think the 370 would walk it.
You know more about GTIs than I do.
Yeah, I think it'd be a straight walk. Like
it wouldn't be like when I raced your Mark IV, but no, it would definitely have a hard time.
There'd be gap.
Even with the K604?
The KO4s were stock on the Mark 6, I believe, on the 2.0 turbos.
What about a tuned one?
Tuned one, you might have to fight it in the beginning, but top end you'll walk.
The GTI has me on weight, right?
Yeah.
Even the Mark 6s?
I believe so. Does it have a tune though? I'm pretty sure the KO4 wasn't aftermarket though, so you might be running a tune.
So am I.
You're running a tune too.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, but I'm pretty confident you'd walk still.
Like I said, I don't know Volkswagens that much, so I couldn't say. All I can say is there's yet to be an NA370Z that's beat me. But like several tuners have said, my VQ is tight as fuck. Like it's just everything is just flawless with it. Compression is good, leak down is good. It makes a ton of power for what it is, and it's just the power band is perfect on it. I love everything about the car. That's why for the longest time it was. You've seen I was just so conflicted with power and boosting it.
Yeah.
And it had that appointment with Fast Intentions. And we were talking 675 wheel horsepower with the E85 flex fuel kit.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
But you also saw me cancel that appointment.
Yep.
Because the power to money ratio was $28,000 was the quote. Now of course people are gonna be like, no, I can see turbo kits for $8,000, blah blah blah. That's just the turbo kit. You don't understand what goes into it. The amount of labor that goes into the installation. They have to drop the engine. The amount of transmission upgrades that have to be done, because I would drop my JWT and I'd have to step up to a stage 3. My stage 2 won't hold that kind of power. There's also rear end upgrades that have to be done because my VLSD is already starting to go out and the rear end's going to have to be updated. There's the flex fuel computer, which alone is $2,000. It doesn't include any of the pump upgrades, the fuel pumps that need to be upgraded in the 370Z so I can make a right turn without fuel starving. We don't want fuel starvation under a boost. That's bad. And then the amount of cooling upgrades you have to do on top of it. Now, a lot of it I already have done, but there's all those add-ons to make it work properly that people don't understand.
You have to run like 1,000cc injectors too for
the E85.
Yeah.
Because the E85, remember, you have to dump a shit ton of it in there to get it to burn. But the nice thing about E85 is so compressible without pre-detonation. So that's where all the power comes out of E85.
And then you saw the ZL1 Camaro.
Yeah, the ZL1 1LE.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an obtainable dream car for me right now. But there was that special that AAM put out last Christmas. Remember that?
Yeah, I believe so.
I was tempted to ship my car off to Maine or wherever they are. AAM was doing their twin turbo kit tuned and installed for $10,000. Remember I showed you that?
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
And it was a guaranteed 475 wheel horsepower. It didn't have the flex fuel kit or any of that stuff, and it doesn't have any of the transmission mods and stuff. But the car would come back to you tuned and safe. But I also live in California, so.
Yeah, so the guy with the KO4, he says puts down 330 HP with 390 torque wheels. I think it's a walk.
Possibly. He has more torque than me, but I've got a lot more top end and response.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean, and my car's not smog legal now, but let's just say mine's easy to fix. Turbo kits aren't exactly easy to fix.
I should know.
Have I ever thought about playing Battlegrounds or a game like it? Nah, not really. I mean, it sounds neat, King of the Hill type of game, but.
Oh wait, King of the Kill?
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
It's just last person surviving.
Yeah.
And then it's all based on like spawn pickups and stuff. So you get people that start spawning or spamming and camping spawns. So games like that just
literally
become
Hunger
old.
Games.
Yeah, games like that become really old. Friday the 13th's been a lot of fun though for us. It's a lot more fun because we haven't played in like a week and a half. But the what makes it fun for us is we've been playing it with subscribers. That's been fun. Thinking of a non-computer based comment. So what is your guys' thoughts on furries? Also, should I replace my original H100 that I have paired with an 1800X? What the hell is a furry?
Are those people
Oh
that, like...
crap! I think oops! What did I do? Do that? Can you read that? So I'm in 4K right now on this, and I accidentally just put my font text to 25% at 4K. I can't read it.
You need binoculars from that.
I need to get it back.
What made me pick the Z as my car? Well, I got really attached to JZ, and I just really like the handling.
JZ? You knew 4440?
Oh, no, stop.
4444?
Well, I really like the handling, and I had to convince myself it was a way better platform to start for track instead of trying to track a GTI. Because the amount of suspension work I want to do on the GTI would just be better invested into a new platform instead. Because I'd have to like get the lower, like the whole suspension off an R32.
It's one of the reasons also why you didn't go with a 240 or an S chassis.
Yeah, it's just a lot better.
Yeah.
And
the S chassis, it's got that drift tax with it right now. I'm surprised you got your 350 HR for the price you did too. That was way undervalued, but
that was so cool.
Yeah, you got it for a really good deal. The S chassis though has a stupid drift tax on it, and the amount of work you have to put into an S chassis just to get it to the performance of a stock 350 is stupid.
Yeah.
The people who get S chassis though, they get them for the nostalgia of them, you know, not so much about their raw performance because they have no raw performance.
Mm.
It's just it was a small compact Japanese car that was rear wheel drive, which is is super rare these days, right?
Yep. Well, that's where the FRS filled in that gap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Jay, do you think EK Waterblock's XE360 is a good enough rad to cool a 1080 Ti in an i7? I do. Hey Jay, do you need a matched pair Xeon in a server, or are two of the same type Xeons enough? I don't do much dual CPU socket stuff, so I don't know the answer to that. I would assume paired would be the best idea. I think it's required, actually. Hello from Mexico. Love you guys. Take my filthy pesos for all the ad blocking. Thank you for the pesos, sir. Okay. Jay, when you test Optane, will you be testing it in a mechanical system and SSD mech systems? Also, if you had 2 mech drives, would you need 2 Optane cards? Good question. I will add that to the database of questions I have for Intel when we start preparing this.
Yo, Coconut Monkey, I'm thinking of building a CSGO inventory. Any recommendations? Don't build one. Don't. Okay, better answer. Pick the guns that you use consistently and just stick with those. There's no point trying to build an inventory full of different skins just because you probably won't switch to a different skin after you get used to one skin already. And like personally, I go for like the 75-cent stat track pistols and stuff like that. The last time I went, the most amount of money I've put into that game was for an op, which I regret selling. It was $15, turned around and sold it for 20, but now that op is worth about like 35 or something like that. And I kind of wish I kept it because they're just going up in price now. But I stopped playing that game because I rage quit so much now.
You rage quit? Never.
Yeah,
Only when you go like 2 of 8 as Jason.
That night. We won't speak about that night.
You were one step behind the entire camp.
Is this mic dead? No, he's just not talking. Nick's angry, I could tell. Like, I could just feel it through the mic.
And I was right.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, dude. Why you gotta call me out?
I didn't call you out. They were asking what's up, and I just gave them the
I know.
truth.
It's like, I hate it when he's right.
Jay, when you... I already did that one. Overclocking my EVGA 670 and killed it. And they already made it, no problem. Even offered discount cross-ship. I damaged the cooler on my 980. Putting liquid cooler on, I had no problem RMAing it. Love EVGA. EVGA does have a very strong RMA. Hi from Hong Kong, 3 AM here. What MATX case can you recommend for water cooling? Almost bought the Fantex Evolve. I don't look at that much MATX cases. BitPhoenix makes some good MATX stuff. I can't think of any cases off the top of my head I would recommend for MATX. I just don't. I usually do full ATX stuff for everything. Chris McNair says, thanks for all that you guys do. Would you ever consider doing a new budget gaming PC since the Ryzen came out? Or when Ryzen 3 comes out? We already talked about that at the beginning of the stream, actually. The answer is yes. OC'd an E5 1650 V1 6.4 to 4.5 at 1.4. It is good. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a Xeon, obviously. I don't know how much juice the Xeon's like to get, to be honest. Let's see. Hey Jay, tagged you last night on Twitter, but wanted to say thanks for the channel and giving me all the knowledge to build this new Beast PC. Thank you, sir. I haven't really been on Twitter today, other than to post like that we were going to do the stream today, so I have not seen it yet. What's the best AIO in the market for 80 to 102? That's a really weird range. 102?
Are you including shipping and tax, or?
They never include that.
Oh.
I don't know. H100 is always a go-to.
Yeah, it's the standard-ish.
I also really liked the early version of the Intermax AIOs, the one that had like that super beefy rad that you could like use as a hammer. But then they got rid of it. They went back to like the more Asetek style rads. So I don't recommend those as much anymore. Found a used 370Z Nismo for 20K. The appearance is clean, but it has 88K on the odometer.
Is that US 20K?
Probably. Put $sign.
Oh, wow.
Would you know what to look? Would you know what I should look for that may go bad? Well, I guarantee the diff bushing's probably shot at that mileage. differential subframe bushing.
The 88K?
88, yeah, mine was shot at 42
Oh, okay.
when I bought it. Who knows how long before that? So you gotta understand, this is a rear-wheel drive car that a lot of people will go out there and do launches and maybe slide it a little bit and constantly, you know, hammer on the throttle. And so that rubber bushing in the differential connected to the subframe just goes bad. It's a fluid-filled bushing, so when it tears, it pisses out its fluid, and then the differential flops around. That's almost guaranteed to be bad. 370Zs, if it's a manual, the CSC, the concentric slave cylinder, is going to go bad on you someday. So when I did my clutch, and the stupid thing is Nissan had relocated the CSC from external of the transmission, which is like a 5-minute swap, like on his car, to inside the transmission, and made it out of plastic. Yeah, they made it a plastic CSC in an internal transmission part that pushes against. That looks so wrong. It pushes against. There's a meme. It pushes against the pressure plate to engage your clutch, or disengage your clutch. That was the stupidest thing Nissan ever did. They have been class action lawsuited for that. Class action lawsuit, whatever. So many times, but Nissan has a really good lawyer that keeps getting them out of it. And yeah, so when I did my clutch upgrade, I also did the Z-Speed CNC one. That's metal. And it will probably fail at some point too, but it's going to have a lot more durability. Those are the two major things. And then an oil cooler would be good to have, because there isn't one on anything between 09 and 2011. And then in 2012, they added a 9-row oil cooler to the bottom of the radiator, which hardly does anything. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I've been part of building 3 300Zs. Fun car. Nice. Tom's technical ramblings. Need a mid-tower. I have 110 EK res, 280 rad, 1080 GTX, GPU bits power block, and a Ryzen 1700X EK supremacy block. Alpha cool pump, block PETG, showcase, no full TG. I'm not. Oh, need a mid tower. Okay, and he's telling me everything he's got.
Cougar?
Define S.
Oh, Define S, yeah.
You're not going to find a better case in mid tower format that's set up for water cooling than the Fractal Define S.
There's a lot more room in that.
It's open.
Yeah.
It's open. There's no drive cages.
So much room.
It's wide open. You could fit a 360 in the front, and you can fit a 480 on the top. Or no, 360 on the top. But you could fit two 360s, and there's so much room in the front. You could go with a thick rad or push-pull if you want. It's offset on the top if you want to do 120 millimeter fans, which I recommend instead of 140s. That way you can clear your motherboard more. And you could go with a thick rad or push-pull again. It's got all the mounting spots for both a pump as well as reservoirs. I mean, it's designed for water cooling, and I highly recommend it. And no, Josh didn't pay me to say that, but I will send him a bill now. Let's see. Where's the coffee? It's down here. It's almost gone. See? It's gone.
It's gone.
It's White Chicks coffee.
It's all gone.
Hey Jay, should I buy a Galax 1080 Ti Hall of Fame for $1,100, or is that too much for 1080 Ti? If that's $1,100 US dollars, that's way too much, man. Way too much. Jay, have you ever dived into the world of password cracking? What is the largest number of GPUs you've ever had in a single system? 3 is the largest number I've ever had in a single system. And why would I get into password cracking? Hey Jay, out of curiosity, is it ever necessary to replace the fluid in an AIO? Mine is approaching 4 years old, and I have not touched it since its original installation. No, AIOs, like any Asetek-based AIO, which is going to be like a lot of the Corsair stuff and like the NZXT crack and stuff, they are not designed to be serviced. Even the ones that are expandable are not designed to be serviced unless you expand them. And there's a little hint about what our video is about with Fractal. It's about expanding one. And here's a last comment that I can see here. It disconnected me from chat, so I'm going to have to refresh it. Thanks a lot, Jay. I'm your fan for a long time. I also want to do full custom water cooling loop, but I don't have the cash for it. Continue to do what you do. Thank you, sir. Just save. That's all I can recommend. Save your monies.
The budgets.
The budgets. Oh yeah, there's a lot more here. My God. There's so many. What's happening in the main chat over there? Who does everyone 980? What? Why does everyone have 98 DYTI? Don't do drugs, okay?
Drugs are bad, okay?
Yo, I'm here. Sup, Reg?
Sup.
Jay, shut up and let the black guy talk. Well, say something.
Something.
He's a man of few words. This is my channel too. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah.
Fuck out. Don't do drugs. Yeah. Noob of bike race. I love you. I love you more. Morning coffee, Jay. It's like 4 in the afternoon. I don't give a shit where you live. It's morning. Well, it was morning when we started.
Yeah.
But I really don't give a shit where you live, to be honest. You know, whenever you put a time up, everyone on the internet seems like it's cool to post what time it is for them. I don't care. I don't give 2 cents about where you live.
Oh my god.
Honestly. Why would I care?
You maybe want to get a feel for what time it is outside.
I have a world clock on my phone. I
God.
just don't care.
Got a donation from Raul. Well, thank you, Raul.
Nick, you the man. That's what it says.
Yeah.
I wasn't complimenting you. I was saying that's...
Yeah, he was complimenting me.
He probably wanted me to read it so that I was giving you a compliment and I was
Oh.
forced to say it or something. I don't know.
Whatever, you still said it. It worked.
Okay, it counts. Let's see. Evil McKinky. Hey Jay, love your vids. Here's a bit of cash for Adblock, but I grabbed an EVGA 1080 Ti SC2 and cannot find a full cover water block. Any suggestions? Much love from the high desert. Give EK some time. They're making blocks for whatever reason though. They always seem to go to EVGA last, which I don't understand because EVGA sells a pretty high amount of NVIDIA cards, considering that's the only cards they sell, and they are extremely popular. So I don't understand why. I almost feel like EK has some sort of like vendetta against them in some way.
Did the GTI ever race the minivan? Not yet, but I think it's going to happen when I get it back.
Yeah, after you did what? Hard pipe tubing, front mount, new tune,
Wideband.
wideband O2.
Should be good.
You better beat it. It's a
Yeah.
fucking stock Sienna
Oh my God.
with car seats in it and a stroller in the back.
Oh, okay.
You better be. It's like 4,800 pounds.
You should put the whole family in there too. That way, if you do pull away from me, it's just even more insult.
The sad part is, like, when the van is full of the family, it doesn't feel any slower.
Oh my God.
And then it has that ECT mode, or the etc. mode, as we call it.
It's a spaceship. It's just undercover.
I call it Star Tours. It looks like Star Tours, and it feels like Star Tours, especially in the turns.
What? Yeah.
The turns, even with because it's an SE, so it's a sport edition. Even with those 19s and stuff. Yeah, I've been wanting to put spacers on it to give it a more aggressive look, but then I know my wife's gonna curb it, so.
That's when you gotta put the hubcap covers just to cover the whole wheel.
She's already curbed the van a few times, but hasn't. Fortunately, there's enough sidewall on that tire to where it doesn't mess up the wheels.
We gotta get her those bumpers like they have from K1. Just wrap the whole car with
No,
it.
we need to get like the 1970s Cadillac feelers, the little
Oh,
cables that hang
yeah.
off like the side, look like whiskers. So they're called feelers for the curbs. They were designed for back then. They were designed so that you could park your car close to the curb without rubbing it, because you would hear the. That's why they were called feelers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Love your channel.
Oh, I see now.
Oh.
The upside. I didn't mean to cut you off. Jay, what's the most GPUs you've ever installed in a single system? I want to build one for password cracking with multiple GPUs. I feel like
Shouldn't be
I
condoning
kind of
that.
feel like I shouldn't be talking to you because I don't feel like you're up to any good.
Lower the Sienna and put 20 by 10s on it.
Oh, I had plans to do van culture. Remember van
Oh,
culture?
yeah.
I would pimp that van. That van is awesome. I love that van. Instead, I got a truck, and then I went the other way with it. I started making it bigger.
Dadmobile.
I feel like I need a big-ass American flag hanging off the back of my Chevy.
Yeah, no, you need a no step on snake sticker.
No step on Snick.
No step on snake.
Just grab some coffee to join you guys. I know the
Cheers.
ATX form factor is strong in the market, but what are your thoughts on MATX? I'm fine with MATX. Honestly, I mean, you can still SLI MATX, but I've never needed to build one. I mean, it allows you to just go with a smaller case. It's the same width as ATX. It's just shorter,
Sure.
right? ITX, mini ITX is super small, but I guess I don't really feel, because a lot of the mid-tower cases now, not a lot of them are strictly MATX anymore. What are you typing there? Are you typing to Eminence?
Yeah.
Senpai has noticed? Wow, double noticed. Jay inspired me to get into water cooling PCs. Thanks for the educational vids. This is for running Adblock. Thank you, sir. It's funny, if someone donates $5 for running Adblock, they just purchased like 10 years worth of viewership on what one viewer would like cost over time with Adblock. The problem is if you have 1 million people using Adblock, then there's obviously a problem. I've shown the numbers before. It's always an interesting discussion regarding Adblock. And I understand, and we'll talk about it again today, right now. I understand the need for Adblock, especially when you go to a website that has ads everywhere, and you've got like one little square of text in the middle, right? And you run an ad block, and then you see just how full the page is of ads. People do that because they're stacking those ads because they're realizing the amount of people who don't get served ads that pings back to the server and says an ad was served, and you make a fraction of a cent on per view. They start stacking these ads on top of each other because of the fact that they're trying to make up for the lost revenues. And it's no different for YouTube, right? So that's why we inject our own ads that we create into the videos that AdSense is also running on, because of the fact that the more people use Adblock, the more it takes away from revenue for the channel. That makes it difficult for us to do things like we talked about with just buying out parts outright and not going direct with manufacturers or doing cool projects. So if I look at my analytics here, if we look at views over the last 30 days, last 30 days was, oh, shoot, scroll. Remember I was telling you guys in the review this thing is super sensitive? Yeah. Okay, I had 6.5 million views in the last 30 days. That's not great. It's not terrible. I've kind of been in the 6.5 million range for months now. Of those views, how many of them were monetizable? Let's take a look at that, shall we? That's not what we want. Performance is what we're looking for here. Oh, they keep changing this. Give me a second here. It's really fascinating though, because you can see an awful lot of the insight. The insight tells us how to kind of mold and direct the business side of things. The video production is always going to be the same. We're always going to do the same types of videos, but the choices we make sometimes are forced based on, well, I mean, ad block and stuff like that. Grab another question while I'm pulling this up.
Okay.
Because they changed the way the dashboard's laid out a little bit on where I'm looking for is, so. Oh, I'm sorry, I found it.
Oh.
Of those 6.5 million views, 2.9 million of them were monetizable. So less than half. Less than half of those views were on a monetizable, that means more than half of the viewers are using Adblock. And that's why we do direct ad sales ourselves to make up the difference.
Oh, oh no. I don't mean to click this.
You're like highlighting the entire chat.
Yeah, I don't. My bad.
If I'm not mistaken, I think if you pop it out, can you pop it out? No, that's Twitch, huh?
Yeah, wait.
Oh yeah, pop out chat. You can make it longer.
Oh, okay. Ta-da!
Look how big it is.
Oh
That's
my
what you said.
Yeah.
We need to end this soon here.
What time is it?
It's 12:39. I put on there till 12:30, but let's face it, I'm on vacation now, so I don't really care. I'll hang out with you guys.
Jay out.
Hey Jay, I love your vids. Here's a bit of cash. Oh, Adblock. Love your channel. Had my Z for 5 years, but needed a normal car for daily use and kid plans. I bought an Infiniti M37S. So you just went with the 4-door version. Car is awesome. Still a Z at heart, but just cushy, you know, option on Infiniti. I would buy a twin turbo 3.0 liter Q60 today if I didn't have such a love for the ZL110E right now, because they're not that far apart in price. Right? It's like 55 grand for the Q60 3.0 twin turbocharged 400 horsepower, and then the guys who first got their hands on it looks phenomenal. The coupe, it looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
It looks so aggressive. And the guys, I can't remember which tuner shop did it, but it was a typical Z tuner. They took the car, they didn't even increase the boost to it. All they did was fix the factory fuel curve, the fuel ratio, and gained 50 wheel horsepower. 50.
Ooh.
50. Because they found that the thing was running so goddamn pig rich that it was the air fuel ratios were super out of whack. So all they did was lean it out to a safe range and gained 50 wheel horsepower at the same PSI.
That's impressive.
I didn't see their follow-up report when they were going to go up to 20 PSI because I think stock was 15.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 extra pounds of boost with that kind of air fuel ratio, they were hoping for something like 480 to 500 wheel horsepower out of it.
That's pretty good. And that's just without doing any bolt-ons too.
That's all stock. Now the turbo design on those is really weird. Like the manifold and turbo is like one unit.
Oh, okay.
So to do a turbo kit on that, it's not like they could just make a custom turbo to bolt right up to the manifold. It's all like integrated to make it smaller and more compact. Because remember, heat management in these cars is a pain in the ass. I would love the Q60 3.0 TTE is high on my list of cars that I would own. It's funny. People say I'm too expensive with my taste. You've seen it, right? I'm very my dream cars are super obtainable things.
Yeah, unlike mine.
GT3 RS. It's only 180 grandish.
Well, they don't make them anymore, so the price.
GT2
of course,
RS.
Yeah, GT2 RS is gonna be expensive as fuck, dude.
Yep.
Those twin turbos up the price that much.
Jay, a furry is a person who likes anthropomorphic characters. You generally see them in things called fursuits, basically high quality, unique mascot suit. That's a thing? I guess anything's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
I guess, well, to each their own.
Justin W., we got your donations. Thank you, sir. I think he had something to say to you, too. But he donated like 3 times. That's strange. Hey, Jay, love your vids. Here's a bit of cash. Oh, I already answered that one. See, but grabbed 1080 Ti SC2. Can't find water block. Answer that one. Have my Z. Hi, Jay. Nick, you are awesome. He said you're awesome. Oh, you guys are awesome. Me too.
You guys are awesome.
Me too. Jay, I finally bought an EVGA 1080 Ti SC for the Win 3 because of your videos. It's not an SC for the Win 3. It's just a for the Win 3. Just a little minor correction there. Thank you for your reviews. Nick, you're pretty awesome too.
Thanks.
Then he made the smiling teeth emojis.
Aww.
Hey guys, I own a Z31 300ZX. That's the one I told you that's it looks like a 280, but it's very squared off. It was like late 80s. Where'd it go? First manual car I've ever owned and driven. Love the darn thing, even if it's older than me. Enjoy your vacation. You earned it, my friend. It's my first vacation since June of last year. It's been over a year. I don't take many vacations. You know what my last vacation was before that? My wife and I went on a cruise in 2011.
6 years ago.
That was my last vacation.
Dang.
Well, when I was running the channel, all my vacation time went towards CES or trips I had to take for the channel.
Yeah.
So I would take a vacation from the day job to go to work for the channel, which I didn't mind. It's just I didn't get any R&R. But moving into this place has certainly helped because there's so much separation now between this and life. I feel like I have one. Hopping on the Adblock train. Keep up the great work, guys. Can't wait for the video on Tuesday. I want to push it live now so bad, but we need to fill that gap because I won't be back in the office till Thursday. And I know when I get back in, the amount of emails and things that are going to be bogging me down, we might not get another video out until Friday. So next week, guys, bear with me, please, that there's probably going to be a lack of content. I'm actually asking this guy to vlog. Do you guys want to see a vlog just of Nick?
What I do when he's not here?
I would love to see that.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be like...
It's just you rubbing your butt in the ground like a dog. You're just scooching along the ground, rubbing your butt everywhere.
Farting on your keyboard, hoping you get pink eye.
It's all rubbing the keyboard, the butt.
Yeah.
I would probably laugh, and then we would have to have an HR meeting.
Yeah.
I put on my HR hat. Is it a conflict of interest if your boss is also HR?
I don't know. I think that would be like a hilarious movie. I want to speak to the HR, and then he's like, "Oh, one moment." You just
I can tell you this much: a business our size flies well under the Family Medical Leave Act radar. Let's see. Supporting you, Jay, since your videos have supported me and have expanded my knowledge of the PC world. I have my own business starting soon related to PCs. Message to inquire, integrity on my end. Message to inquire, integrity on my end. Okay. Good luck with your business, though. Hi, Jay. I'm looking to build a 4K gaming rig, and I was wondering about the RS 1080 Ti, but I'm not sure I should go SLI or single GPU for 4K. The RS is powerful. I showed that. I just don't like its build quality with the shroud. If you want to get 4K gaming that's consistently 60 FPS, go with 2 of them. 4K is still no joke. But you've done the gaming on the test rig with the 2 1080 Ti's and 4K, and how was the experience?
It was pretty awesome.
Wait until the 4K high refresh rate monitors come out, which will have less input lag.
My only problem is I'm scared that might spoil me, and then it's like, I need to do this now too.
Yeah, because it's going to be north of $1,000 for that monitor. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Hi, Jay. Okay. Love the adjustable arm monitor mounts you have in the upstairs set. I have 3 27-inch monitors. I'm thinking of getting them. Do you still like them? Yeah, they're still up there holding the monitors. They never sagged or anything. They're the nitrogen-filled ones, though, so there's like pressure in those pistons to hold them up. Remember how mad I was at first? Like, the damn things aren't holding the monitors, and they said they would hold the weight. I was like, oh, there's a screw. I was like, what happens when you turn it out? And the monitor was like, shh, it went up. I was like, oh, it helps when you use it right.
Maybe we should have read the manual.
But it's backwards. You would think tightening a screw would make something stronger. No, that's backwards. If you tighten the screw and push it in, then it gets weaker. If you bring the screw out, it gets stronger.
That's kind of like chronoing a Tipman, though.
Sort of, yeah.
Because if you pull it out, it's more velocity. Push it in, less velocity.
Yeah. So it was a similar thing. It wasn't until I actually and the thing was, remember the manual that came with that was like non-existent.
Oh,
so I actually found that out by looking at the Amazon reviews on it. I'm looking to build a 4K gaming rig. I think I already answered that. Hey Jay, I have a 750D case. Going to a 7900X with a single 360 rad 1080 Ti OC Strix. If the Rampage 6 Extreme isn't released soon, what's the next best feature-rich motherboard? I've got the X299 Pro Carbon here from MSI. Seems nice. I really like the deluxe one, the deluxe that we got. I feel like the X299 Deluxe is a good sweet spot motherboard, but of course the Rampage is just going to have all the ROG features in it. Strix is always a good one. I've not gotten my hands on any of the EVGA boards yet. I was told end of July is when they'd be available, so I have not gotten my hands on any of those yet. I still think the X299 Classified Dark is going to be a nice one because it's all blacked out and stuff, right? And they actually put lighting on the motherboard for the first time.
It's going to be so cool. So cool.
Again, though, I've told EVGA this a million times. Your motherboards will always be just shy of perfect as far as I'm concerned, as long as you don't have fan curve software built in. And no, I don't mean going into the BIOS and telling it PWM setting or setting a static percentage to run at. I mean, give me some sort of curve like the ASUS software where I can go in and control my fans in the OS. Yeah. Until they give you something like that, it's never going to be 100% as far as I'm concerned. Hey Jay, quick question. I'm on a budget, and I'm a Twitch streamer. Will the Ryzen 5 1600 be enough for streaming and gaming since I'm on a budget? It sounds to me like it has to be, right? If you're on a budget and you can't go much higher than that, then you have to make do with what you have. So you're going to probably have to stream at 720p, 30 FPS, and you're just going to have to do the best you can with that. So Ryzen also likes memory speed, so go with fast memory that is validated for Ryzen, and call it a day. It's kind of like my situation, right? Where at home I have Skunkworks, an extremely powerful 20-thread machine that I have to stream at 720p because of my god-awful upload speed at home.
Yeah, that's the other factor. How good's your internet?
Sure. So you can have the best system ever, but if your internet can't handle the bitrate you want to upload, then you can also tune yourself based on your upload. So if you have crap upload, that's like I have 5 megabit up. Okay, and 720p, that it can barely handle that. And so yeah, it's one of those things where I could use a much lesser machine and still maintain 720p. This is getting so hot. Feel this.
Yeah.
That is really hot.
You need to get one of those laptop pads that you have at home.
They need to just fix their shit and not have it be so hot. Okay.
It's a good thing to have that fan blowing on your legs.
I know. Yeah, he set up a fan back there blowing like at our crotches, the crotch fan. Hey Jay, do you happen to know why my 7700K at stock speeds reaches 80C on a 280 rad H110i? Huge fan of your channel. Here's Adblock compensation. What are you using to measure your temps? When I first got...
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, you're swishing it. When I first got my 7700K, I was using Hardware Monitor to tell me my temps, and I found that there was like almost a 15 to 20 C deviation between what hardware monitor was reporting and what Ada64 was reporting. So it turned out it was actually running much cooler than I thought, because I was seeing like 95 C on water, and I'm going, what the actual hell is happening here? So I would double check with what you're using to monitor those temps and your voltage. If you're running around 1.3 or less, you shouldn't be anywhere near that hot. Try reseating the block and thermal paste. Someone gave us a donation for Adblock. Thank you, sir. Don't feel obligated to donate if you use Adblock.
Yeah.
No one should ever feel obligated to donate ever. We don't solicit them. It's just, it's part of the stream.
Don't guilt trip yourselves.
I will never guilt trip someone for using Adblock. I won't. I understand why it exists.
Yeah.
It sucks that it does directly dilute the amount of value that our work has, or it produces, right? Mm-hmm. It's content consumed for free. I try to keep my ads from being intrusive. So what I mean by that is I never enable long, when you look at the monetization tab in YouTube, there's a bunch of different options. I never enable the long non-skippable ads. I always have these short non-skippable ads on there. Also too, I never really do mid-roll pre-rolls or mid-rolls. Sometimes I might on a long video, but you'll never find, like some channels, I think we've seen it, they'll put like 5 or 6 mid-rolls in there, right? Yeah. Those are people that are just trying to eat up that AdSense money. Those are the people that make Adblock feel necessary, because you're like, God damn these people and their ads. So guys like me who are making conscious efforts to not be intrusive are being punished by Adblock because of that. Now there's whitelisting. So if you use Adblock, whitelist your favorite YouTubers if you feel so inclined. But don't let myself or any other YouTuber ever make you feel like, I've heard some YouTubers refer to people who use Adblock as some pretty derogatory terms, right? Both in front of the camera and behind the camera, discussing with some of these people. I've heard some bad things that are like, things that make me go, wow, and blush a little bit at how derogatory they were regarding Adblock users. But you'll never hear that out of me. Because the views we get help us sell our ads that we create. Because your view still has value. Even if it didn't serve an ad, your view has value to us. It's just a little bit less direct, if that makes sense. Hey guys, love your stuff. I want to ask if for Photoshop, a large high core count CPU is worth it. I'm debating with an 1800X or Threadripper. Is it worth all the money? Go with the 1800X instead of Threadripper, but give yourself more RAM and faster RAM. Because same thing with Premiere, all of the previews and stuff and all the effects, it's rendered through it's RAM rendered. So the more memory you have and the faster of it can alleviate a lot of the stress of what's happening in your Photoshop or Premiere. So RAM is also a very big key on that. You're not saying anything again.
Sorry, I went silent again.
He does this a lot. You seem to need more coffee. I've already had 2. Not 2 Starbucks, but I've had 2 coffees.
This is my first. I haven't had coffee in a while, which probably explains why I crash a lot when I get home, like just caffeine withdrawals. Because like after I get home, I eat dinner and just pass out.
You mean your naps that go all night?
Yeah, the 15-minute naps that turn into.
I can't tell you how many times he's like, I'm gonna take a quick nap, and it's like 6 o'clock, and then he wakes up at like 4 a.m.
It's like, I'm here to play. That like everyone's offline.
Look, if 2 p.m. is rolled around and I haven't taken a nap yet, I'm not going to. There's no point in taking an afternoon nap because it just screws up bedtime.
Yeah, I'm learning that real fast.
Have Jerry's tips as he took the day off. Jerry took the day off? What?
No.
Adblock not enabled on YouTube because YouTube Red. How's he? Oh, Red has a separate revenue stream, and I have no complaints about Red. A lot of people freaked out when Red first. I wonder if our stream. The amount of time it says we're live on this computer is different than that one. I think that's because of when I accessed this one, because I turned this one on 49 minutes ago. Gotcha. Anyway, YouTube Red is good. I have no complaints about it. YouTube Red is interesting in that it's divvied up amongst the Red users and the channels they watch and the minutes watched. So there's a weird calculation there. When Red first came out, a lot of content creators freaked out because they thought that. What do you mean there's no more ads? Oh my God, how are we gonna make money?
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, you make money on the YouTube Red. But the people who have more engagement with their audience benefit more from Red. So I obviously don't make nearly as much on Red as someone like Linus, but I definitely make more on Red than someone much smaller than me. So it all balances out, right? If I took a look right now at the Red,
Oh, here's a question.
Okay.
Would you go one ultra wide 1440 or three 27 1080s? Like three 27-inch 1080s?
For gaming, I would do the 3.
Okay. For
mixture of content creation like I do in gaming, the ultra wide's all the way. Did you say 2 ultra wides or 1?
1 ultra wide.
Yeah, I'm running 2, which is perfectly fine with me. It doesn't bother my OCD that it's not perfectly symmetrical. So I'm not going to show you guys the numbers, but Nick can see right here, YouTube Red is about 10% of the income.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about 10%, which is not bad at all.
Gotta do the maths. Yeah, ultra wide. I like ultra wide for content and editing, stuff like that.
You don't like it for shooters?
I don't like it for shooters. That's my only beef with it. But I do love it for racing games. Like just wide open games.
I can't do flat panel or any panel anymore for racing. VR screwed me.
Yeah.
Especially now. We took so much shit. God, people were salty when we put the X299 in that home theater PC. But how many times? How much did we say while we were making that video that PC Master Race was going to lose their shit, right? Because one, everyone's mad at X99 and Intel anyway. Jay, you put up this video shitting on Intel. No, you got them. I was like, I said in that video that I'm still going to do video content on it because it's up to you to decide if you want it, not me.
Yeah.
So it's up to me to present the information. You do what you want with it. Dude, from the 4770K system to this one, that is night and day on the VR performance, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Granted, the only complaint is still the bloom from the sun.
Oh yeah, and Project Cars.
And Project Cars.
The bloom's a little bit blinding, so we disable bloom in VR because you can't see anything when you're driving into the sun, which is probably realistic in real life. But the thing is, even when the sun is like not in direct view, like it's above the roof of the car, it still blinds you.
Yeah,
ridiculous. It's not much, but I just bought the new Inwin 101. Nice. Inwin makes great stuff. Can you buy the new EK aluminum radiators on their own? Let me know. Don't yell at me. Yes, they're going to be offering those separately. I don't know when, but they are going to be offering components so that you can expand your kits. They did tell me that. I think what they're doing right now, though, is they're just ramping production up on all the kit creation, and then they're going to start doing the component individuals. Hi, Nick. I'm enjoying the Cocoa Nut Monkey. He spells your name wrong. Show, but why have you got your butler on stream?
Oh. Well, I need company.
Is that because I'm white? That's so racist.
I have the butler because I need company, and I'm really quiet, so he does most of the talking, and he's kind of like my anger translator
so
too.
So racist.
When I get angry, I go quiet, but he translates for me.
I identify as a black guy though. Jay, you're the reason I got my 1080 Ti and started to overclock and play with all that good stuff. If you ever need some good lovin', come up to Washington and I'll give you that good lovin'. Wow. Panda Bear said that. Panda Bear wants to love me. There's already a bear up in Seattle who wants to love me.
I know of a couple bears too.
Hey Jay, my birthday's coming up. Could you explain to my girlfriend why it's hard to get a PC enthusiast a computer gift? Want to clip it and show her. That's by Denez X11. Denez X11. Okay, I hope he's watching right now.
Okay.
Girlfriend. PC Master Race and gaming enthusiasts are very particular about the parts they want in their system. They research this stuff. They spend hours looking at reviews like mine and Linus and Paul's and Kyle's and whoever else. They know what they want. And if you try and surprise him, unless you're really good at paying attention to his search history, and that might be terrifying in itself, then you're probably not going to get the right thing. And although he'll try and act surprised and grateful, it would not be the thing he wants. It's like if you're into handbags. I don't try and buy my wife a purse. I never will buy my wife a purse. I know I don't know enough about her taste to even come close to getting the right one. So if you really loved your boyfriend, you would get him a gift card. Nailed it? Nailed it.
Yeah.
That was the most T-Rex hand clap I ever got.
It's not working.
It's like a slap fight, isn't it? Okay. Adblock fee, thank you, sir. I feel bad when they say that. I'm not guilting Adblocks.
Why are you guys doing this?
He said holy shit, not holy shit. He said holy shit. Wow, $20 donation. Thank you, sir. Holy shit, I haven't caught you live since Tech Talk. Got to go. Kids have checkups. Have my own channel now. Have any tips for shortening editing time? Have a 6700K with 2 times 1080s and SLI. He wrote that only 7 minutes ago. Hopefully he's still here. I render at 4K 60. PS, love your channel. So what I do in Premiere to speed up my editing, and Nick has seen this, is I have a folder called Design Elements that has all the things in there I like to use, like my intro, overlays, sound effects that I use all the time, like the whoosh sound when I do the push transition and stuff like that. That's all in one place. I also make a custom presets bin, where instead of having to dig through all the folder breakdown or type in what I want every time, like a dip to white transition, crossfade, constant gain, exponential fade, when it comes to like audio transitions and stuff, I take my most common used elements and I move those into their own folder, and then that's always open. So it's always a click and drag to things that I need. So I have all my design elements and things that I use, the files for the videos, all that stuff on one screen, my timeline and preview on another screen. So that's why I have the 2 ultra wides. So when I open up the editor on there and then I go to edit, it's extremely efficient and streamlined. When I edit on this thing, because I don't have the real estate for that, it literally feels like it takes me twice as long to do
Because you're alt-tabbing, switching and stuff? You don't really alt-tab.
Yeah, but I also too have a really small window, a really small timeline, all my effects and stuff. I mean, it's just too much to fit on a 17-inch screen.
Gotta get you another monitor.
Yeah, but it was also nice to just sit on the couch with my feet up on the ottoman editing too. Because the video you guys saw about this was rendered on this. Whoa, renderception. Yeah, that video was made on this laptop.
Why is Coconut's Monkey's laptop? Oh, because I'm sitting, my knees are more upright than his. He's kind of like...
My feet are like stretched out on the copy table in front of us. Let's see. I think your fractal baked-in ads are awesome. I don't use Adblock, but I enjoy your content a lot. Compared to Netflix, this is a bargain. Thank you, sir. I'd like to now announce that I'm expanding to Netflix. No, I'm just kidding. I have a problem that Asus can fix. I have a problem that Asus can fix my Asus crosshair. Is the problem that they can fix it, or did you typo saying they can't fix it? Can't fix my Asus Crosshair 6. And the R7 1700 shows 17C at idle, and my is overclocked at Air 3.7. Pass this at Asus. One, I don't pass RMA stuff onto manufacturers. I get people that... This kind of rolls back to what we said earlier. Like, it would make a good series, like if we just kind of went undercover and used fake names and stuff to go through RMA process and see what it's like. Because I get, unfortunately, emails all the time from people saying, like, my thing broke and this company won't fix it and they're jerking me around. Can you please send them a message and tell them to fix it? It's like, it's not my job to be mediator between these companies, okay? I'm not involved in that. It's not what I do. That's one of the things that was going through my mind when we were talking about, like, RMA cop, right? I've only got a couple left here.
Undercover RMA.
Does the reservoir on the EK A240 contain aluminum? No, it's all... I would like to purchase the A240, but for aesthetic reasons, would like a bigger reservoir. No, it is all plastic. It's
Acrylic?
acetal?
Oh.
I believe it's acetal. No, it's not acrylic. Obviously, the see-through part is probably acrylic, but the actual top and bottom is acetal. The plugs are aluminum, though. So you'll want to transfer those plugs to any other reservoir that you get. Most reses on the market, like Bits Power reses, other EK reses, they are acetal. So just transfer over the plugs, because you don't want the nickel-plated plugs. Just keep it all aluminum for best longevity, and you'll be fine. More studio vlogs so you can get some progress. The problem with the studio vlogs is they don't get a lot of traction. You know, we have to gauge how much time we put into making a video and the amount of return we get on that video. This is a business. This is a business. Content creation is our business, and we want to maximize the amount of work that we do and the amount of return we get for that work. So when we do vlogs, it still has editing time. In fact, maybe more editing time even, because we have to scrub through sometimes a couple hours of footage to try and put together a 15-minute entertaining video, where when we do a review, we might have 20 minutes of video to go through because it's all thought out, and it's like, okay, we're gonna shoot this, these are our shots, put it together, off we go. We've got a very streamlined process.
You have to take into account, like, because it's more streamlined, vlogs, we kind of like to go candid with them. And in between the funny moments, there could be like a shit ton of dead time in between each.
So you
thing.
have to watch the whole thing to find those moments.
Yeah.
And so it takes longer to edit those videos. And then when we do that and we get less than 10% of viewership,
then it's kind of like not worth putting that much production effort into it.
A typical baseline that I like to say is most channels will get anywhere between 15, on average, 15% of your subscribers will watch a video, to really good videos perform like 20-25%. So for instance, at 1.15 million subscribers right now, I expect 115,000 views at minimum per video. Okay, that's the baseline. That's only 10%, right? If I don't get that, then a video has underperformed significantly.
So it's not worth pursuing that anymore, or that.
That's the sad truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of time that gets involved in that. That's partly our fault though, because we stopped doing vlogs for a long time, and our vlogs used to do really well, but because we stopped doing them, I think we've had a lot of growth. I mean, 300,000 or 400,000 extra subscribers since we were making those frequently. Yeah. To where I think the new subscribers are like, what's this shit? Or what's this vlog crap? You know,
True.
You got to remember this. If you're a longtime viewer, you've seen the transition, you've seen the growth. New people haven't, unless they go back and really watch, which is unlikely. They've got like 900 videos, right?
Just put 2 idiots in the search bar.
Yeah. They haven't seen the growth. They just know this, and so they're at a loss of the history. The history. Well, what I love is when people are like, what's a perfect example? I was thinking about this the other day. Well, I was talking about this in the Discord, right? I said, you know what's funny is my audience loves when I build gaming computers. Yeah. But if I play games on the channel, they're like, why the hell are you playing games? I don't want to play games. This? It's like, I built a gaming machine. Obviously, I'm into games. But then if you play games, they're like, I don't want to watch you play games. It's stupid. So we're constantly making decisions based on that. And unfortunately, you have your dedicated fan base, which I'd like to say is around, like, I can guarantee the same 50,000 people right now are going to watch every video, no matter what. I could put up a 10-second video and be like, you guys want to hear me fart? And it would get 50,000 views. Okay, I guarantee it. But that's not going to pay the bills.
True.
You know? That's reality.
Is yours going to restart?
How likely are you to recommend this device to a friend or colleague? What? What is this shit? Ooh, I'm going to write a review right now. How likely are you to recommend this device to a friend or colleague? Wait, the device or the operating system?
Feedback hub.
You may contact me for more details. Oh, please call me. Can't answer this question? Give us feedback. Okay, here we go. Not sure I understand the question or response options. Tell us more. Your OS is a steamy pile of horse shit that has been sitting in the Phoenix summer sun for 2 weeks, plowed and blended into a smoothie.
Oh my gosh.
Shat out again and repeated 14 times. Shipped to Bill Gates himself. And then
go on.
Turned into a fart sucked out by Sacha.
Oh
I typed that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And submit.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. That was the best time for that to pop up. You know that? I appreciate that.
What a great opportunity.
Windows 10, you're on it. That was amazing.
Jay, I would like to see you do a burnout with a car at the Hoonigan Donut Garage and collab with them.
I don't do burnouts with my cars because that's how shit gets blown up. Like I told you guys about
it's built
differential bushings and stuff.
It's built for grip, not drift.
What is Jay talking about? While I was doing this live stream, my computer randomly popped up and Windows 10 wanted me to recommend it to a friend. And then I clicked, I don't understand the question. It said provide us details, and I did.
It's like, yeah. It's like Origin asking for feedback. Would you recommend a friend? No, but if it comes with the game they want to play, they have to use it anyway, so why ask the question?
Yeah. Jay should do a $100 build guide. Build guild? $100 build guild. LOLs at Jay. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through the last of these comments real quick.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna go. I gotta leave soon because I rode my bike to the office today, and I've gotta ride my bike 15 miles back home to wash up and then go to the gym. I'm a monster.
You mean like sponge bath?
Like, yeah.
You're just gonna wipe down with a wet cloth.
Yeah. More studio vlog. Okay, answer that one. Starbucks and Adblock. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, sir. You're mentioning VR and racing. Are you planning on doing iRacing server anytime soon? Would love to with you guys. We've done hosted stuff like a few times, but I don't have like a dedicated server or anything like that.
I don't have iRacing yet. I don't play it.
iRacing's a money pit. Because
Yeah.
remember, it's a monthly subscription. You start with the select tracks and cars, but almost any hosted race, you've got to download cars and tracks, which cost you $15 a pop. Yeah, it's stupid. I probably have $500 into iRacing, not including the subscriptions, which I've had for 3 years now.
Dude.
Right? So yeah, I've got $500 probably just in DLC.
I still have to explore Assetto Corsa because I found there's like you could download tracks, like modded tracks and whatnot.
Yeah. Can't wait for Threadripper reviews. Running EVGA X58 classified with OC Xeon 5690 4.2. Could use a refresh after 7 years. Built in 09. What do you think? I think Threadripper is going to rip that thing apart. No pun intended. Okay, fine. I meant it. Mossop says, I didn't mean for that to be racist. Can I change it to maid instead? LOL. Oh, he made the Butler comment. Fine, that's better. I'm wearing black and white. Maids wear black and white, right?
Yeah.
Never had the chance to catch a live show before. Here's 5. Buy Coconut Monkey at Starbucks. I bought him one
You
earlier
bought me one,
today.
yeah.
Keep up the good work. So that's just reimbursement.
Thanks.
And I used my redeemed stars for a free one. So now mine is free. Hey Nick, how do you like the MSI laptop? He has the 15-inch version.
It's awesome.
And that's why he doesn't do reviews.
What? Yeah.
I like it. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's like Ollie's Corner in Family Guy.
Oh.
All right, now we're going to go to Ollie's Corner here for Adopt a Pet. Who wants a dog? Thank you, Ollie.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like what his reviews
I could
would
fit
be.
my reviews into a single tweet. Like for it.
He only needs like 92 of the 140 characters.
Yeah, that's a good challenge. You know, I should try doing that. Like reviewing a product, like reviewing something in the full tweet, but using all the characters.
Nick, how do you like that laptop? I love it. Back
I love
to you.
it. Well, yeah, it's great. I love the high refresh rate. It works for the games. I'm not like trying to play max graphics.
I didn't talk about battery life in this. It was on my notes, but I didn't really mention it because two things. One, reported battery life on this is about 4 hours, which I could say is about right. Because remember, we plugged it in on the plane and it didn't charge.
Yeah. I was so
I think my
depressed.
power supply, both yours too,
Yeah.
required too much power, so it just didn't charge on the plane. I was just editing away on battery life in performance mode, and I think I got about 3 hours out of it in performance optimized mode in Premiere before I got the warning that it was going to die.
I got 2 levels of Doom in, and then like 5 minutes of Forza Horizon 3 before it just started chugging. Like
Yeah, it went down to like 10 FPS.
yeah, like
Well, because you were in a game, you weren't able to see the battery pop-ups, right?
Yeah.
But I was in Premiere, so I could see the battery pop-ups.
Gotcha.
But a laptop like this should never be measured based on its battery life. It's not meant to be like a powerful computer to use on its battery. There's no battery in the world that could keep this level of hardware running for hours and hours. It's not like a MacBook where you run that thing 10 hours, you know?
Yeah.
Asus TUF Z270 motherboard. Will an M.2 drive stop me using any PCIe slots? I don't know. I don't have a TUF motherboard. I don't see why it wouldn't. Hi, Jay. Nice name, by the way. Oh, his name is Jay Miller. Jay Bros. I game on a 7600K at 4.9 with a Hyper 212 Evo. Can't get it stable at 5. Would it be worth getting an AIO to get 5 gigahertz stable? I don't know. If you're hitting a thermal wall at the voltage you need to run to hit 5, then AIO might help. But at 7600K, 7700K, they're still very warm CPUs. So it might help, but you're not going to... If you just want the 5 gigs to say, I've got a 5 gigahertz processor, I'm happy, then go for it. Otherwise, are you doing anything that's going to truly utilize the whole 5 gigs? What are you typing?
So people are like, yeah, I was just answering questions randomly.
So he prefers to type in chat on stream than actually.
Well, you're talking, so the question was, what would be the lowest end CPU you would recommend for playing CS:GO and Overwatch? Like whatever fits the budget.
A potato.
A potato tater?
I don't know. I don't
know what the budget is, first of all.
Well, I mean, CS:GO's a hard one, right? Because everyone's so particular about the FPS they want.
Yeah.
Something about the correlation between the super high refresh rates and mouse sensitivity. I don't know.
I just make sure it's running plus 60, and I could play.
Yeah, but any true CS:GO like fanatics be like 60.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you can't play CS:GO at 60. What's wrong with you? Your PC Master Race card revoked. right? I don't know. I don't know.
I
Stupid.
suck at it, so I stopped playing it. I admittedly suck at it.
Jay, Fractal Core 500 build, Asus Strix 270i, i7770.
7700K.
Oh, i7 7700K. Oh, he like put it all together. 4.8 gigahertz, over 90 degrees C Noctua, and HD15. I have 5 gigs, but thermal throttles. Thinking of doing delitting, or should I try an AIO first? Try an AIO first. Delitting should be a last resort. You ruin all warranty with it, and you could very well damage it, even with the proper delitting device. Getting 90 to 95C in Prime 95 small FTT, 4790K with an H100 V2. Any ideas? Using CPU ID and Corsair link for monitoring. Prime 95. Can you try that? Before I don't even want to answer that because I'm inclined to say something's wrong with the seating of your block or your cooler. Maybe airflow to your rad. But if that's not the case, then try it with Ada 64 free edition. Prime 95, I don't use that anymore. I don't. I don't find it to be a very good stress test in itself. I prefer to use Ada 64 because it's just updated better. It takes advantage of the architecture a little better and truly tests it like it should be. Prime 95 is something I stopped using several years ago. If you're getting the same temps with something like Ada, then I would take a look and make sure that your pump in your H100 isn't dying.
What is this, Beeves? I'm looking to build a PC.
Yeah, speak up.
I'm looking to build a PC for 1080p for 144Hz ultra wide. Should I stick with upgrading a GTX 1070 or an R5 1600 or wait until equivalent Vega card to come out? Well, you can't really answer that because Vega's not out yet.
It's not out yet. It's gonna be more powerful than a 1070, but if he's running if he's running 144 Hz ultra wide, I'm gonna assume it's a 3440 by 1440p panel. But he didn't give the resolution, which is a very important key factor. If you're running an ultra wide and a high refresh rate panel, all the GPU horsepower you can get, my friend. Hello, Jay and Nick. Love you guys. Here's for the Adblock. Started watching your channel back in 2013 when I built my first computer. Continue making outstanding content. Thank you. Yeah, 2013. When you go back and look at the channel,
Big difference.
it's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
The first thing people say is like, "Wow, Jay, you were so much fatter," which I guess is fine. I'm still pretty fat today, but I'm a lot better than I was then. But also too, just the quality, right? The mic quality was terrible. The camera quality was terrible. I didn't know.
But it's still a learning curve, you know?
Well, yeah.
You have to start from somewhere.
We talked about it earlier. That's the evolution of the channel. New channels don't start with this level of production quality. And those that try to start with this level of production quality end up quitting because they put so much manpower into it. They don't get the return they wish they could get. And so they quit because they're like, why am I putting all this time and effort into this and I'm getting nothing out of it? When instead of just starting with a webcam and a Yeti mic like I did, they started with all this shit because they had the money, and then they realized, like, I'm not doing all this for 100 views.
Yeah.
You know? Jay, I'd like to see you do a burnout with your car. Oh, you already answered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, hell no. I will never do a burnout in my car like that. I know, like, I have no tire sponsors either.
No, you should do it right before you have to get new tires.
Dude, it's just so hard on the suspension and everything in that car. Knowing my luck, I would be one of those guys that's super rare and breaks his carbon fiber drive shaft. You know which that thing is to replace?
Expensive.
Love the quirkiness of all your vids. Just supporting the content. Money isn't because Adblock, but I'm sorry for using it. I just whitelisted you on it. Thank you, sir. I mean, whitelisting is definitely the answer if you appreciate the content and that content creator doesn't shove ads down your throat with AdSense, like mid-rolls and all that stuff. Tried this earlier, but didn't hear a response. Do AIO coolers need their liquid changed? I answered that. I said I said loops like anything Asetek based. Corsair, NZXT, the new Fractal stuff. That stuff is not designed to be serviced. Even ones that are expandable, like the Kelvin from Fractal, which is not available in the States, and the new S36 and all that stuff, doesn't need to be serviced unless you open it. But the ones that are expandable, if you don't open it, you don't have to service it. They're not meant to be serviced. And there's ones actually that have warranty stickers on them where if you try and service it, then you void your warranty. Thanks for all the tips. We'll watch the whole stream later. Recently moved most of my resources to my gaming 1TB SSD, Adobe on a 500GB SSD, all else on 2 TB hard drive. It sounds a lot like the way I do my systems. Hey Jay, for game dev, 2x 1080 Ti or 1 Titan XP? I'm not a game dev. I have no idea how you would utilize that, so I can't answer that. Do I buy Predator now, or should I wait for some new to drop? I want ultra-wide curved, low lag, high refresh rate, and G-Sync. Wait, because the predecessor to the Asus Swift panels that we have, now, the ultra-wides, they're 100 hertz panels. They're essentially the same tech that's like in the Predator. They have new ones coming out, which are 200 hertz. You saw it.
Yeah,
Why are you acting all surprised?
I'm trying to sell it. Gosh.
Oh, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so 200 hertz versions of those are coming out. So, and they're IPS. So yeah, it's probably going to be very expensive. It's probably going to cost as much as your whole system. But yeah, if you are asking if new stuff is on the horizon, the answer is always yes. I want to build a PC for a small form factor, bringing to LAN. Want to use the computer as a streaming computer with external capture card when at home. Will a 7600 non-K be enough for streaming, or should I get Ryzen 5? It is absolutely enough for live streaming if that's the only thing it's doing. A 7600K will have a hard time live streaming the content on the same machine like you're gaming on. But if you're going to use a capture card to that machine, then it doesn't matter because the capture card is doing all the encoding. Mm-hmm. And then your system is sending up the stream, which is not that much task. Like the laptop over there, when I started up the stream, it's sitting, yeah, we're streaming this on a laptop right now, 1080p, 60 FPS. It's sitting at 15% CPU load. Oh. Because we're using a capture card to bring in the video. And then the OBS is encoding it up at 6,000 kilobits per second.
I feel like you should scoot over a little bit, though.
We're about to end.
Oh.
It's fine. We're about out of here. If I squeeze my arm in, then I'm centered. See? It's just where my arm is.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Why you gotta be so buff? Taking up
I'm
couch
not
space.
buff, I'm fat. Hi Jay and Nick, keep up the great content. I'll be building a 12-core Threadripper box when it's available. I look forward to the reviews when the parts are out. He's running a i7-950 with 24 gigabytes of RAM. It's a lot like your old system. You had a 920.
960.
Oh, you were one step up.
Yeah.
I might keep thinking you had a 920.
I don't know.
But that was a 4-core 8-thread. Thanks for the help. The highest I got was 67C on 8-64. Yeah, see, he already answered me. Is that deal whip? Yep. See, that's why I don't trust Prime 95.
Mm.
So you got 67C on 8-64. I would go with that. Your cooling is fine. Prime 95 is designed to blow up your shit. I mean, quite honestly. So, all right, I think with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this. Thanks for hanging out today. Like I said, I am going on vacation starting at the end of this stream. No, I got to go. We got to register for the AMD thing. We got some administrative stuff we have to do. But I will see you guys again next week. We have a video going live on Tuesday. You don't want to miss it. If you like our Fractal ads, you don't want to miss that. Trust me on that. Also, too, merchandise store has been set up. The shirts are about to drop because we've been finalizing like the
material and whatnot.
Yeah, I've got like 20 different shirts with different material and different printing process and stuff on them to find, because I'm extremely picky. That's why I haven't had merch or any shirts for a long time, because I'm extremely picky with the way the clothes fit. And if I'm not happy with it, I'm not going to sell something that someone else is potentially not going to be happy with, right? Yeah. So if I'm happy with it, then I feel like at least I can stand by it. But if I'm not happy with it, how am I going to take your guys' money for shirts?
That's how you confidently sell a product. You have to be behind it.
I feel like everyone should have standards like that. And I'm not tooting my horn, but that's honestly why I've been in the channel 5 years and didn't have shirts.
It makes logical sense.
So we finally decided on a brand, and I'm happy with it. So the store, I was sent the email yesterday. The store has been set up. I have to approve it, make sure I like the way everything's laid out, color, size options, and the sizes will go up high. Because that was another thing. I actually told the brand, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to work with you. Even after we'd gone through the logo design and printing and all of that, when they told me that they weren't going to carry anything higher than a 2X. And then they were like, well, we might be able to get a 3X. And I was like, do you know how many people have requested 5X? You know, as a guy who used to weigh 500 pounds and a guy who used to wear a 6X shirt, I'm not going to cut off that portion of my audience and be like, sorry, you don't have an option to buy my merchandise because I went with a brand of shirt that doesn't support a big guy. And as a former big guy and still somewhat big guy, that's important to me. Okay, so that's why this has taken so long. I've seen a lot of people asking me like, why the heck is it taking so long for you to sell your shirts when obviously they're available? What you're seeing were prototypes.
A lot of R&D.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we are carrying up to a 6X.
Oh, sweet.
A 6X shirt.
You know-
one that would fit you comfortably. Like this, it's a heavier material, it's a tighter neck, the sleeves are a little longer. Because the problem is a lot of these shirts now are what they're called modern fit.
So it's
where they're like
short sleeve.
short sleeves up to here. I'm like, what is that crap? I'm not a hipster. I don't need that shit. I want a full sleeve. Like this is the shortest sleeve I would ever wear right here. Right?
I'm just
And that's shorter than this one.
Yeah.
This and so the maroon shirt you guys have seen me wear recently, that goes all the way down to the elbow. That's the cut. So anyway, that's that, and we're gonna end this now. Thanks for hanging out today. And if I missed your donation comment, I sincerely apologize. There were tons and tons of them.
Yeah.
But I'm going on vacation. See you guys next week. Don't miss Tuesday's video. And with that, we'll see you in the next one. If I
Bye,
can
guys.
find the button. Nope, we got to talk for a few more seconds. I accidentally closed the page to stop the stream.
Oh my god.
Oh, look, it popped up again. Oh, no, that was the How Satisfied Are You with YouTube Live. I was like, you really want to know how much I like your shit.
Is it done?
God, I want them to respond to that. Nope, not done yet. Now it's done. All right.